What's up, everyone? I'm GKB, the governor and your host for the sexiest and the best damn podcast Tuesday nights, the Console Corner. On last week's show, we had a ton to talk about. We also gave away some codes for Hugh. We had a great show. Go ahead and check it out when you have a chance. On this week's show, we'll be talking about Recor, Horde 3.0, and so much more. I'm really excited about our topics tonight, and I think we have gonna have some great debates. I believe. Please, everyone, make sure you subscribed, follow everyone so you can stay up to date on whatever we're doing. And if you could, please hit that like button. We would really appreciate it. But first, let's introduce our great panel of epic gamers for this week's show. Starting off with a special guest this week, someone new to the Console Corner. He's a part of ICXM, Windows Central, and has been on a few podcasts. Mr. Jez, how's it going, man?
Yo, how's it going? Yeah, not too bad. Thanks for having me. It's cool to be here.
Absolutely. All right, so next on to a returning person to the Console Corner. He writes for just about everything now, too. His name is Mr. Tommy Guns. How's it going?
Hey, GKB. Thanks for having me on again. I appreciate it, and I'm ready to talk. Ready to talk some games.
Heck yeah. All right, next up, this guy needs no introduction. Everybody knows him. He is the Crap Gamer.
Everybody knows my name. Like Cheers, you know what I mean? I go in there like, hey, Crap Gamer, and I'm like, hey, give me a beer. And it's good times are had by all. I was actually honored to be asked to come back and help you guys out again.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate it, Crap. Next, we got a late entry here. We didn't know if he was going to make it or not, but we have the Mooch, the president himself.
What's up, buddy? Yeah, I'm not as famous as Crap. I mean, Crap is it is like Cheers, right? He's like our norm. I'm like, Crap, what's going down? He's like, my ass on this bar stool. So, that's our boy, Crap. No, it's great to be here. Like I said, what's great about the community is always reaching out. There's times when, listen, not everybody can make these all the time, and I think the audience gets to know that as they get to know all of our personalities more. So you guys have helped me out on Crossfire so much. It's an honor, and listen, She-Wolf doesn't want to hear it, but you got to bring somebody on here that's going to talk hardware. That's this guy. So we're
Nice.
really get a diverse group.
We got some hardware stuff, too, to talk about, man. So
Absolutely.
it's going to be awesome. Next, we're going to go on to our regulars of the show. Not too many tonight. We first up have Lady Foxfire.
Hey, what's up? You guys know I'm here. Talk about games. I got my
Kit Kats against those Starbursts.
Hell yeah, we got all the smacks. Watch out.
Oh, that's awesome. Next up, we have the First Lady of Xbox, She-Wolf.
You know what's funny? Mooch says that he's not as famous, but every community game time, there's always one person saying they want to meet Mooch. So I don't know, Mooch. So I think sometimes you are bigger than Crap Gamer.
Oh, I don't know about that. Don't say that to Crap.
Oh man.
Oh, no.
He's been in there though. He's actually heard it.
He has heard it. Maybe I'll
hear
have my own E3 booth next year. We'll see.
Well, you
That'd
know,
be awesome.
you sparsely show up, man. Like people
It
are
is
like, "Where's
sparse.
Mooch? Where's Mooch?" I'm like, I don't know, man, but you still get talked about a lot.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
well, you know what? That's great. The community game night is definitely the better side of the talked about. Then there's the Twitter side, which thank God there's a block button. Thank you, Twitter.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that.
Hashtag block 'em all.
Hashtag block every one of them.
I know I do. They don't even get much of it. They don't even get a second chance. Like, as soon as something pops up and it's like block, sometimes I'll get a notification that somebody followed me, and I'll go click on them and see who they are, and they got a bunch of PlayStation stuff, and I'll just preemptively block them before they can even say anything. I mean,
It's safer that way sometimes. It's safer.
Yeah.
Although I like the way that Jez. I'm trying to model myself more and more after Jez because Jez has got this great like in between. He is you're beloved on both sides, Jez, which is fantastic.
Am I?
He's like, I don't know about that.
He was like, I am?
I do have some seriously, like, I've had some run-ins with psycho PlayStation fanboys in the past, and I have a pretty sizable block list myself. But at the end of the day, people have their preferences. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's totally fine to, prefer PS4. I mean,
Absolutely.
Xbox is better, but it's fine. There are exclusives that PlayStation 4 has that some people might just feel really invested in, and that's why they go for PS4. At the end of the day, it's all arbitrary, and everyone can Play
It
whatever
really
they like.
is. It really is. But that's an interesting topic you bring up there, Jez. Is that you say that we all do have our preferences, and every one of us on this panel, you can dig into our history. We've all owned PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and to be honest with you, I played the heck out of PlayStation 2, and there were some games that keep your allegiance to that system. The problem that I mainly found as we kept growing older was the fact that Sony didn't keep those titles that we loved and cherished so much alive for us. I mean, that's some of the issues I thought, and that's what kind of opened the door, I think, for Microsoft, and hence we're all here today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
pretty much.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. Let's get into these topics. I got a couple more things to cover, and then we're going to get into it. I know Mooch is frothing at the mouth to get on some of this stuff here.
Yes.
Everyone in the chat and on Twitter, hell, I don't even care if you're in another universe. Please beam us your questions so we can answer them at the end of the show. We'd really appreciate it. We want to answer the stuff from you, so come on, get us those questions. All right, so first up, we love the community, and with Epic Clip of the Week, we get to show off some awesome gaming moments. Just a small way to give back to the community and show off some of your guys' awesome gaming. So this week's winner is Scorpto77 with his epic kill feed on Overwatch. Let's go ahead and take a look. I think when we were voting on this one, I think everybody unanimously picked this clip. It was just like, holy cow, I can't believe this happened.
I didn't vote.
Oh, that's because it's Overwatch, I think.
I didn't. Where? Hold on. I'll find it. Here we
I
go.
was gonna say now it's too late.
It's never too late.
It's too
never
late.
too late.
It's never too late.
And that's a good clip. I like it.
Yeah, it's super awesome. Again, congratulations again, Scorpio. Scorpto, I keep pronouncing that wrong. I don't know why. Scorpto77. Everybody, make sure you go ahead and get us your videos so we can showcase you on the next show. We would really appreciate it. Go ahead and hit us up on Twitter. Yeah,
Because I
crap,
had a good
you've been
one
telling
counter
us.
sniping She-Wolf in one. Pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah, you
Why am
said
I
you were
not
going to do that.
surprised?
What happened?
Yeah, I have a good one. I forgot to enter it. I've been busy real all week. Hurricanes and whatnot.
And every single
And
podcast.
hurricanes, yeah. And
Yeah.
hurricane though.
Oh, that was a damn good clip though.
That was.
I like
pretty
I like the delay because then I can see the clip a little bit later. So
Awesome. And now it's in my favorite part of the show. I get to go ahead and ask all these guys what they've been playing as far as video games go. So let's go ahead and start with Jez. What you been playing, my man?
Battlefield. And
I think that's everybody's.
Battlefield. Oh my god, it's so good. It's
It
so
is so
good.
good.
Oh my god.
I
I
totally
can't get
agree.
over how good it is. I could cry. I could cry how good it is. I think I will cry.
I know, for me too, man. Battlefield was not even I never played Battlefield before, and this one, oh my god, it's got me hooked on this game. I love it.
I've been a massive Battle fan for a while now. I played older Battlefields, but they never really hooked me until Battlefield Bad Company 2. And then since then, it's kind of Battlefield's coming out. It's really fun, but it's not as good as Battlefield Bad Company 2. But Battlefield 1 is as good as Battlefield Bad Company 2. So I'm so psyched for it, man. I can't even describe. I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered Premium, Early Enlisted Edition.
Man, you went all out.
Just take the lot. I'm done.
Yeah. They took his wallet.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. What about you, Tommy? What you been playing, man?
For me, I just finished Deus Ex, which was really fun, but it left it on a cliffhanger, so I'm really excited for the sequel. I played Hue, which is really good.
Yes.
And I played some Battlefield beta as well, but I kind of feel like Mooch. I was like, what the hell is happening? What's going on? And I was dead.
Yeah.
I'm not used to Battlefields. It was very, very chaotic for me.
Hide in a house. That's all you need to know.
It does have a little bit of a learning curve. What about you, Mooch? What you been playing, man?
Well, actually, I'm glad you asked. I'm playing a lot of Dark Souls 3.
Sweet, man. Good
really
game.
enjoying it. There's a lot to the game, and I've actually watched a bunch of people that are very, very big into the YouTube community that are specific to that game. And forgive me for not remembering the gentleman's name that created Dark Souls, but he was very much into Western type of novels and this and that, and he couldn't really understand half of what he was reading in the American language, but he understood some of it, and he said his imagination took him off on certain subjects to fill in the blanks on things he couldn't interpret. And really, to be honest with you guys, that's what's kind of awesome about Dark Souls. like I'm playing the game and there's parts of it you're like, what the F, you know, but at the same time you kind of like get immersed into the story, and it's so enwrapping that like you kind of fill in the blanks yourself as you continue through. And the game is just, it's stunning. The game is stunning. And I bought it, GKB, when you bought it.
Yep.
I got it like a week and a half after you, but I really didn't get to it. Now that we have the summer swoon, you know, just a little bit of time to kind of play some old backlog games. I've gotten a chance to go into it, and it's an intimidating game, but if you're willing to put like literally 10, 15 hours, it's not one of those games where you go, the game starts in 10 or 15 hours. That's not the case here. The game starts right off the bat, but you need about 10, 15 hours if you've never played a Dark Souls game before to kind of start to understand what the level up system is, what the item system is, and how it all works. It is an in-depth system, but it's hard, but it's extremely rewarding. So I've been playing the crap out of that, and then just getting my Destiny characters ready for Rise of Irons.
Heck yeah, man. Awesome. What about you, Crap? What you been playing, man?
Let me think. Doom. I started that, which
Finally.
is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super satisfying. The gameplay on that, I'm not gonna lie, it's really phenomenal.
Great
But
game.
what I really like is the music. I think like just the music is really amazing. I really dig it. It's fast paced. It's fun. I also finished up the Turing test, which was really good. I've also been doing. Let me think. What the heck have I been doing? What is that? That Deus Ex game. And let's see what else. Oh, I downloaded the Star Trek Online game. I'm gonna try that out. I'm actually kind of excited to see how that is, and also yeah, some other stuff that I can't talk about yet.
Yeah.
But,
And Battlefield?
and Battlefield, which I love Battlefield, by the way. Phenomenal game. Really sold me on that, especially with the whole EA stuff, with Respawn stuff. Yeah, so Battlefield has moved up into that spot now, and I'm going to buy Battlefield 1. And yeah, so I'm really stoked about it. The game is so much fun. We played it for hours on
They were just
on Saturday
laughing,
night.
man.
Yeah, it was just like having a good time, just laughing and having a good time, and that's what it's all about. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah, absolutely, I'm excited for that game.
Cool. What about you, Fox?
Well, I was gonna start off by saying the same thing like Jez said, because I did that yesterday. I was like Battlefield. But yeah, I played some Battlefield with you guys, with my friends. I'm not tired of it yet, even though it's the same freaking map. So I think it's awesome. I might stream it again before it ends. I think it ends on the 8th, right? So yeah, it's really fun. I just like unlocking and trying all the guns. And also I've been playing some Hue. Almost done with that. I think I need one more color, and then the rest of the game. And Forza on back compat, and that is actually really, really fun.
People are
getting
loving that. Yeah, I keep seeing all the achievements pop up. I'm like, man, I was there when that was. I'm a hipster. I was liking that before it was cool.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I had some achievements left over, so I was getting some of those, but I basically beat the whole game already. So
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know.
wow.
We'll
Nice.
see if I get like the add-ons and stuff for it. But yeah.
Sweet. What about you, She-Wolf?
Well, I've been playing Battlefield. I actually enjoyed that more, though I can't drive a plane worth crap. I could not drive those planes.
I can drive it, but I
crashed.
can't shoot it.
No, I could shoot it, but
Oh shit,
I
we should
crashed
get in the
myself.
plane together.
Yeah, you both need
I'll
to get in
shoot,
one.
you drive, because
Hell yeah.
oh my god, that whole backwards thing it didn't work with me. I can mention that I'm playing Oceanhorn, but can't talk about it. So there's that. What else have we been playing?
iZombie.
Well, yeah, I'm getting there.
There's so many.
I'm like, hurry up, girl. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know, you're like rushing me. Like, oh, thank you. Well, yeah, completed Hue, and then playing iZombie, and yeah, just kind of played a lot of Battlefields this weekend, which, canceled Titanfall too. And I'm almost tempted to actually put the money towards buying Destiny's new friggin' expansion.
Oh boy,
Do it.
we're gonna get into that.
I'm
You
tempted.
canceled the pre-order because somebody else gets to play the game. Oh wait,
Oh wait a
that was
minute.
something else.
He's having
that's something
flashbacks. Hold on.
Oh wait.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, what's funny? Well, I'll talk about it after.
Yeah, we'll talk
but,
about it when we get to it.
But yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've been playing. I played iZombie. That King's Quest game. I actually got around to playing that. That's actually a really good game. It has a great story in it. I played Oceanhorn. Everybody's been asking me about it. I can't talk about it, unfortunately, till tomorrow. The embargo lifts, I believe. I played a bunch of other indies. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I've been killing that gamer score. Second on the leaderboard. Yay!
Oh,
I haven't
dude,
been
you
there in a
passed me.
while. Haven't been
You
there.
passed my score officially. It's it made me cry a little bit, but I still got some games. Don't worry.
I know you're gonna come back. I got you. We're gonna be duking it out at the end for the 100K, for
We're
sure.
so close.
For
Yeah.
sure. All right, so we're done with that. We're gonna go ahead and move into our first segment, and that is the news. Take it away, She-Wolf.
All right, so one of the topics that I started to talk about, which is the Titanfall 2. Before I jump right into what the topic actually is, I have to say we canceled our pre-order, and we were being accused of a lot of the reason why we did it was because of this topic in particular, which it was not, because we actually had the discount. And so for everybody on the panel, my question goes out to you guys. What are your thoughts about the fact that Titanfall 2 will no longer have EA access or Origin access? So it's not just Xbox based in general, it's actually the PC and Xbox. Won't have the discount price or the 10-hour trial. Now, like I said, people were saying that we canceled ours because we didn't get the discount and whatever. We actually had the discount, so that's not why we canceled it. And yeah, so what's everyone on the panel think?
Well, I think that Microsoft has come out and said if you pre-ordered it prior to the announcement from Respawn, that you still will get the discount. But if you're trying to get it now, you're not going to get the discount. Microsoft apparently was taken off guard by this because they were putting out these surveys and things that were saying, how did you hear about Titanfall 2? And it was in the survey, it's like, which Microsoft service allows you to play Titanfall 2 early and get a free trial and a 10% discount? And it's like A, B, C, or D, and EA Access was obviously the answer. So they're like doing that. So they only did that a couple days ago. So this obviously took them by surprise. I think it sucks. I think that it's really kind of slapping some of the fans in the face that supported the game in the first place. I'm not a big fan of what Respawn's doing here. They changed the game, first of all, and you're like, well, maybe I'll live with it. And then they're like, well, now we're going to take this away and this away and this away. And isn't it funny how developers all want things to be fair? They don't want one group to have something before the other, unless it's like a Sony thing, right? Then it's okay. Like, I did a video about that today. It just seems so funny to me that these developers will have no problem putting out a game at a better resolution on the PlayStation 4, but heaven forbid, Xbox owners getting EA access, which Sony turned down. So, but all hell breaks loose if you want to put, the game out early on Xbox for a service that we pay for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stop the presses, or hey, letting them use Azure servers for dedicated servers, because then it's an advantage. So I think that that's absolutely ridiculous, and I canceled my pre-order too. So
Yeah.
Well,
For me too, like I kind of on the same thing there. Like I also think it was a missed opportunity for Respawn to go ahead and do some good faith for some of the gamers out there, and some of us like She-Wolf and I that love Titanfall and are pushed back away from Titanfall 2 because of how far different it is from Titanfall 1. And it would have been nice to be like, hey, here's 10 hours, guys, go try it out. We're sorry, we changed a bunch of things. Give it a go. If you like it, go ahead and buy it. If not, it's oh well. But
there's a lot of things wrong. There's a lot of things wrong here, guys. We got to kind of start at the source, and I'll give you, everyone here has always said, I didn't have it pre-ordered. I was never getting it. I was turned off by the tech test. Everybody knows that, so I'm not going to rehash old memory lane there. But there's a lot of things wrong here. First things first. A lot of times, people in the review world, in YouTube, or even if it's a mass media outlet, they always put a bit of concern when a game isn't given out early, or there isn't anything spoken about it, and it's kind of like pushed off to the side. In this case, not allowing people to play it early is a huge warning sign. It shows you that the developers themselves are not 100% confident at this point, because they already had a bad taste in their mouth from the tech test. So there's already that going for them. Then there's the whole EA thing, and a lot of people are saying don't blame EA, and I understand that. I really do. I think that EA was also caught off guard here when Respawn exercised the right that was in the contract. Respawn is putting all of their eggs into the PS4, and here's the thing: a year ago, it was genius. The problem is now there seems to be a shift. There's a huge shift. Like I said, we've been talking about TVs and tech, 4K TVs, going into Best Buy the past couple of weekends because 4K TVs are dropping like hot air balloons. They're just dropping in price. And I'll tell you right now, the first thing people say is, are you talking about all this stuff, the HDR and blah, blah, because of Xbox One? And I'm like, yes. It's already on sales associate on the floor's minds. That means it's people walking in and talking about it. So what Respawn did was they kind of put all their money on one particular number on the roulette wheel. And the problem is now things are shifting. Does that mean that PlayStation's out? No, not at all. Let's calm down. However, this happens in football. It happens in baseball. One small gesture can change the shift of the way the whole mentality kind of moves the other way. And in this case, when E3 happened, Phil Spencer did a good enough job to portray to everybody that Xbox is back, that we were never really gone, but we listened to you. And the public is buying that. Now, getting back to what we're talking about at hand is you've got Respawn that is not giving this leg up to the Xbox fans because they don't, quote-unquote, want to hurt the other fan base that hasn't gotten a taste of Titanfall. And it's the same thing that they pulled the Azure. That's why we're not using cloud computing. A lot of this game changed. Then they also dumbed it down to basically be a Call of Duty clone. So, and I think Crap made a good point when someone asked him the other day on a podcast, hey, what do you think about the wall running, things like that? And he goes, what do you mean wall running? There's a building every 100 feet away from each other. You can't really even do that for a long stretch of time like you could in the first one. So the game has been completely altered. So if you're in the audience and you're like, Mooch, I totally disagree with you, give this a chance. Understand what I'm saying. This game has changed on multiple fronts. It's been dumbed down. We don't have the cloud computing anymore. We don't have the Azure servers. We don't have our EA access that we were promised. You know, as consumers, we were still promised it. We were not all there in the big office room when they were inking deals and this and that. We were told that on anything that was EA, we would get that. I'm very sure in fine print somewhere it said that we couldn't if the terms were changed by the developer. We didn't read that. Nobody reads that part. Yeah. So, basically, if you walk into your local mall this weekend and you start screaming a little louder than you normally do, there is something in writing where they can kick you out because you're just being a little louder than somebody else. But they don't do that because it's insane. So my point being is that what they actually did here is a bit insane to do to the customer, and they did it last minute. So myself personally, I think Respawn burned themselves on many fronts.
Well, I'm actually kind of curious what Jez has to say, because you work for Windows Central, so do you have any information about this whole EA thing that someone like we may not have?
Well, first of all, I think there's a lot of speculation about this, and it's not all necessarily probably the case, in my opinion. For example, I don't think that Respawn go into this thinking we need to worry about the PlayStation 4 gamers and whatever. Maybe there is an element of that, especially because PlayStation 4 has the Call of Duty marketing deal, and obviously Titanfall is direct competition for Call of Duty, let's face it. It's not direct competition for any other shooter that's coming out. It's not direct competition for Gears of War. It's not direct competition for Battlefield. It is direct competition for Call of Duty because they're very similar in format, very twitchy, arena, fast-paced and all that. So... So maybe there is an air of that, but I think what is more likely here is that because EA don't do many of these kind of second party deals where they have a second party developer make a game and they publish it. The only other game they've done this for recently was Unravel, which is a very small company that didn't really have the clout to say something like, we don't want to give discounts on our game, because obviously if they're giving discounts on their game, they're getting less money. Respawn will directly get less money if they have discounts. Now, EA probably don't have any policy in place to compensate Respawn for the discounts. And then they probably don't have any policy in place to mitigate any potential damage from having an early access trial as well. So maybe there is an edge of we aren't confident enough to give away a free trial for this. Maybe there is an edge of that. Maybe the tech test worried them or something. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of beta or test to show that they've gone back on some of their changes. Because, like you guys, man, I was just so disappointed in Titanfall 2. I was all for it, because I do like the Call of Duty format. I'm just really bored of it. And Titanfall was sort of like a fresh take on the Call of Duty format.
Totally agree.
So I was looking forward to going back to that, because the only thing I felt Titanfall 1 was lacking was something to get me invested in the universe they created, i.e. a campaign. And also, it didn't have that many unlocks. Like, you can unlock everything in a very brief amount of time. So the RPG layer wasn't there to keep you addicted to it. Whereas, like, in a game like Battlefield 1, like, I've got like 100 hours on Battlefield 4. I'm nowhere near unlocking everything in that. There's just so much content in Battlefield. And I wanted some of that for Titanfall 2. That's all that had to do, man. That's all that had to do. Give us more of the same, but better. But instead, they've changed up the formula. They said, "Oh, we want it to be more team-based." It's not a team-based game. Why are you trying to make it one? And it's never going to be a team-based game.
Now they made it camping, like team-based. All right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
It's
the thing that I
now.
absolutely hate about Call of Duty is the camping. And now they've done that with Titanfall 2, and it's just...
and the first one was so good, like, you didn't have any camping because of how the AI and stuff would just kind of flush you out of areas and stuff like that. I don't understand what they were doing, man, honestly.
Well, even with the whole camping thing in Titanfall 1, like you're saying, you couldn't do it. And even with, like, the AIs, it wasn't even just that. It was the fact that the pilots were able to move so softly and so, like... I can't even really think of the exact word I'm trying to get out, but they move so quickly with like being able to just boost around and get around, and like you said, the wall running. The wall running was one of the biggest things, and they took that out with opening up the map so big and putting buildings so far away from each other. You don't have that advantage anymore, and with that, they just they took away the game and took away the actual core of what it used to be, and that's what I was really disappointed with.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I want to ask Jez. Let me ask you a question though, because you said you don't really think it was for the PS4 thing. What other reason would Respawn pull that from EA Access's?
Because their bottom line, because they are not an EA company. They're an independent developer. Essentially, Respawn is a big budget indie that are taking money from EA to make a game. So EA presumably will pay them royalties or whatever for units sold in exchange for marketing, publishing, distribution, and all that sort of stuff. Because all the PR, all the finances, all the boring office work stuff, that's being handled by EA. And but Respawn own the IP, they own the game, they own the code, they own the IP, the property. So EA will be paying. There'll be some sort of deal where money exchanges between them, and presumably on the discounts, EA aren't compensating Respawn for the money they're losing on the discounts. So the discounts from EA Access only benefits EA because they will get more subscribers from it. And does Respawn see a penny of that EA Access subscription money? I doubt it. So I'm guessing that, quite honestly, this is something as boring as a business deal that either side couldn't compromise on. I mean, a tiny developer like Unravel, which were in the same situation as well, they probably... they're a small indie developer, a very small team. They don't have the clout to turn around to a big publisher like EA and say, "No, we don't want to do this," because they're a very small dev and they probably don't have as much power. But clearly, Respawn feel like they do have the power to say no to EA now because Titanfall's got a bit of traction. I think it's just really arrogant of them.
Well, not only is it arrogant, but this is a two-way street, right, Jez? So I agree with everything you just said. And what I want to say, though, is this is one of those cases where Respawn's actions, as much as it's their right, makes EA look awful. And EA is just sitting there. They're sitting on their hands because they're like, what do you mean you're not going to go and do what we – this is what we do. And they're like, we don't want to do that.
You have to think back to what happened between Respawn Entertainment and Activision
And
before they
yeah,
were Respawn.
Respawn's doing it again.
They had a big falling out with their publisher, didn't
Yeah,
they?
and everybody thought Respawn were the victims. Maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. So now it seems like, okay, EA could just say to Respawn, okay, we'll compensate you for the discount, and EA could take on that cost. And to be fair, maybe EA should take on that cost because
I
it's
agree.
their subscription service, and EA can afford to do that. But at the same time, it's making it sound a little like Respawn aren't willing to compromise. And from a gamer perspective, when everyone said to them, we hate this battery gameplay you've put into Titanfall 2, we hate the lack of wall running, they turned around and said, well, we don't care. So this
Pretty
is
much.
just another layer of arrogance on top of that other arrogance. And I do think it's arrogance when we say the battery gameplay breaks up the flow of combat, the Titans don't have shields, so they die really quick in certain circumstances. It's really annoying that I have to get out of my Titan, pick up a battery, and get back into it like
Yeah.
I'm doing a fetch quest in an MMO or something. It's a shooter. It's
Yeah.
not a fetch quest RPG. I don't want to travel around the map picking up glowing power-ups. You know, it
sure.
really ruins the flow of the game, and it's
does.
idiotic to
Well, even
ignore
being
that
thrown
feedback.
off of the Titans to pull out the battery in the first place to get back on the Titan.
That's
Yeah.
annoying as well. I mean, how cool was it in Titanfall 1 to jump on the back of a Titan and stick your gun into its chassis and shoot bullets through it? And now you can't do that. You just jump on it and take out a little battery. And oh, great, I've got a Duracell now. And now what am I supposed to do with this? Give it to another Titan instead of go around killing people.
Yeah,
It totally
he's got a
ruins the flow of the
Duracell.
It totally ruins the flow of the game. And they were saying like, "Oh, we think this gameplay is really cool. It gives the game an edge of team play." And it's like, no, stop it,
Yeah.
stop it, Titan, stop it, Respawn.
Um,
And so you know, it's hard to sympathise with Respawn on the whole EA Access front when they weren't willing to at least meet in the middle. Like I wrote an article about this, about the battery gameplay, and it's not the only problem. You know, you talk about the wall running and all the other stuff, but I said at least make the battery stuff optional. Maybe like if you've got a battery, if you just so happen to have a battery, you'll get a little boost or something. But
That makes
Titans,
sense.
their shields back, you know, and but and like people are saying in the chat, you know, the whole format of the game now encourages camping, and it does feel a lot more COD-like because you're on the ground more, because there's no walls to run on. So they can't afford to be caught in this sort of controversy with the EA Access thing, whether it's EA's fault or Respawn's fault, or the fact that the two couldn't just meet in the middle. They're big companies and they're adults, and they should be able to work out a way to stop this from affecting the the continued controversy about the game, and also do something right for the consumers. I mean, Titanfall isn't Call of Duty yet, and Respawn need to respect that fact.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, they sure added that kick slide. Hey, shout out to 140 plus watching.
That's what I was gonna say too, man.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks
That-
everyone.
That is awesome. But yeah,
Super
you know what?
awesome.
They added that kick slide, and you could just slide across the whole map.
Yeah, you can. It just keeps going.
Who needs to boost when you can
I do
slide?
I
Yeah.
do like the slide, I have to admit.
I feel
I
like the
like
Twitter
the
meme should come into play, shouldn't it? Crap, or you slide across and it just says "deal with it" all the way behind
Yeah.
you.
You know, here's the thing with Vince Ampello, right? I agree. This could be a business thing, but to me, he just seems like he's been sucking up to Sony since the release of the first game. He's like, well, I didn't even know that the game was going to be an Xbox exclusive. We certainly didn't want that. We wanted our game on as many platforms
And we
as possible.
promise the next one will be there.
And
Blah
the next
blah.
one will be, right? And then what I've heard is that they brought in like PlayStation gamer Call of Duty, and they thought it was too fast, and that's why they slowed it down. They're showing it off a lot on PlayStation formats. You know, they don't want to release it on EA Access or Origin Access early because that would leave PlayStation gamers last, and they're trying to sell to them because they're the ones that didn't get the game last time. So I do think that they're trying to a bit appeal to the mass audience, and this is what happens with games sometimes. They had a pretty good success with the first one, and then what do you do to get even more success? The same thing they did with Mass Effect and various other games. You dumb it down a bit, and you try to appeal to the broader audience. Like the original Mass Effect is very RPG, and somewhat a little bit tedious with like the Mako stuff, but I loved it. And then they made it less like that for the second one, and then even less. You got less and less options as the games went along, and and now with Titanfall, they're like, hey, let's try to get the Call of Duty crowd. Let's try to get the more casual crowd, and let's get that PS4 crowd because there's 40 million of them. You know, who cares about?
Which,
Yeah.
you know, you talking about like the success and Sony and stuff, that kind of actually goes perfectly into the next topic, which is actually Sony wants to aggressively push into mobile gaming market following the success of Pokemon Go. So
Mooch's
what do you
favorite
guys
subject.
think about that?
Pokemon. I think that Sony is going. Hey, they're going all in with gaming. It's the only thing they have. So
They could do God of War Go, where you just like use the phone's camera and go around slashing people.
yeah, you know what? I thought I made a joke about something. What did I do? Like their exclusives, like the PS4 exclusives Go, where you go around searching for them, but you'll never find them because that's the joke. Yeah. So.
Oh, shit.
Oh god.
Yeah. So yeah, like I think it's weird, but they're going all in with gaming, whether it be PlayStation Now on PC or mobile, or if they announce a new handheld tomorrow, the Neo, the Slim, whatever. You know what I mean? They're obviously this is the only thing they have now that makes any money, so they're going all on board. I just hope that they have games that kind of back it up. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm sure that that fan base will all be like, supportive of it though. I'm sure that VR and mobile and that stuff, that's not casual at all when it's PlayStation.
That's what I was thinking too, crap, like, because we were hearing, like, rumors of a possible new handheld from Sony and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we hear this, about the Pokemon Go, and they're aggressively going for, like, mobile and stuff. And that's kind of like, well, is their new handheld going to be more of, like, a phone, phablet kind of a thing here so they could take advantage of stuff like that? And what IPs would they really, I don't know, be good for a mobile market? Honestly.
Okay, well, they have something like called Sackboy Run or something that's, Sackboy from,
Yeah, from the Vita.
yeah, right. But I think that's a phone game too, isn't it? Or that would be something that they would put on the phone.
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was on the phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's from Little Big Planet.
Yeah, so they would probably do stuff like that. I don't know. They're best at copying things nowadays. We all saw that Elite controller. I mean, that thing.
Oh God.
Well, that's not so. That's been confirmed that it's like a third party. It's not Sony.
I know, but it's a third party that basically
ripped it off.
Copy paste.
Well, yeah, but
but I
just
mean,
saying.
but look, I just think that it just goes to show that Sony's going all in on games, but and with the hardware and stuff. But you really need the software. Their software is really lacking, in my opinion. So.
Well, that's the part that I can't believe, and we're going to find out more. I think a lot of us are going to have more questions tomorrow after the show than before the show. You're going to see the Neo. They're not going to come out and really say too much about it, more than they may speak about games in a certain tense, but they can't get too deep into its specs because it's underpowered by, it's underpowered already to the Scorpio. Even if, of course, Phil didn't come out and say 6 teraflops and that's it. We all know it's probably somewhere between 6.4, 6.6, maybe even higher. Point being is that this can't do that, and Sony likes to tout numbers. That's all they do.
We're going to hear transistors.
Yeah, you're going to hear all kinds of other things. But I mean, I just don't think that. I think the Sony fan base is really. Listen, a lot of us knew this was coming. Okay, Sony's in a lot of trouble. They're broke. I'm tired of hearing people say, well, no, they sold 43 million consoles. They're making a lot of money. If you look at the numbers come out all the time. They make between $12 and like $28 a console. That's not a lot of money. It's not. And they haven't put enough software out first party to reap the 300% benefit, that you make on your investment. And that's just something that Sony's not. And tomorrow you're not going to see that. You're not going to see any of that. They're like, well, we'll wait and see if Titanfall 2 is going to be Sony marketing. Who cares? Like Sony, that's irrelevant. First of all, Titanfall is a household name amongst Xbox players, not Sony. You walk up to anybody in the neighborhood, knock on the door, and be like, hey, do you have a Sony? Do you have an Xbox? No, just a PS4. Are you getting Titanfall? What's that? Most of them have absolutely no idea what that is in the Sony camp. That's why I said I think Vince Zampella definitely put his money on the wrong roulette wheel. It's not going to happen for them there. And tomorrow's event, I mean, who wants to go spend $500 on a Neo and then $600 on a PSVR, and you come home with those 2 devices, you plug them in next week, and you say, well, what do I do with them? There's no games. Microsoft, someone said to me, shout out to Southbound on Crossfire. He goes, "Hey, listen, let's just play. Let's play the other side of the coin." When Microsoft does that, what's their recipe? And we all came to the conclusion after we thought about it that Scorpio is going to at least have like Crackdown or a one or two first-party games to flex the muscles that will be Scorpio. Sony's like, well, we'll wait and see how Call of Duty looks on Neo. I'm saying that's not good enough.
That doesn't look good on a $5,000 PC.
Right.
Call of Duty just doesn't really look great
Well,
anymore.
I'm actually kind of curious to hear what Tommy has to say. We haven't really heard much from.
Yeah, what's up,
from
Tommy?
you.
Come on, Tommy.
Jump on in there.
All right, got kicked out and back in again, but
Welcome back.
thank you. So what the topic we're talking about is the Neo and the VR. Is that what we were focused
No,
on?
Sony decided that they want to go for
push
mobile gaming because of the success of Pokemon Go.
Well, I know they went into mobile game before. Didn't they have an Uncharted game app that went along with Uncharted 4 when it came out that supposedly didn't do very well? I don't think they have the IPs that lend itself to something like Pokemon Go, and I don't think it's a sustainable solution. I mean, Pokemon Go did great in the beginning, but that thing plummeted fast. I mean, I don't hear about it at all anymore. So
Which I think Mooch called that one, but
yeah, I mean, I don't see that being a sustainable solution for them. That's just jumping on a fad, but I don't see that being successful.
Well, that's what I keep saying too. Is like, what IPs? I mean, they have Uncharted, God of War, but we're not going to see anything for that for a couple years, and a couple other games. Like, but really, like, what are they going to push? And like what Mooch is saying, like, all this cool hardware, but where's the software? They haven't really showed much of that at all this year. Go ahead, sorry, Jez. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Speak up, Jez.
I was going to say that one PS4 IP I'm really jealous of is Helldivers. I think that game looks great. Do you even know what it is?
Yeah,
it's like
no, I know what it is.
I've heard of it. I've just never played it.
It's
top-down
definitely a
shooter.
game that
It's
it's a top-down shooter. It should work well with mobile, I guess. I guess that's a good call, Jez. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a good mobile game.
I think they could do okay with their mobile games, like I guess kid-friendly ones like Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that.
Flower.
Maybe Flower. I mean, nothing to the level of what Pokemon was in its first 2 weeks. I mean, but maybe something smaller, and certain fans would probably go out of their way and pick it up, but nothing as popular as Pokemon Go, I don't think.
Well, let's be honest. Pokemon Go, it's Nintendo. First off, that's what they're known for, are those cute little style games. And then, of course, everybody, like, I even grew up watching Pokemon, so it's not
it was
even,
those
like,
two things, definitely, yeah.
But this is the thing about Pokemon Go is the game already existed before Pokemon Go came out. It was called, I can't remember what it's called now, but it was the same game, except instead of going around catching Pokemon, you went around hacking stuff, like you were a hacker and you had to hack nodes and stuff. And the developers of that, Niantic, they went to Nintendo and said, look, we've got this game, we think it'd work really well with the Pokemon license. And it was exactly the same game, but with no Pokemon instead of hacking. So it's not the game that people liked, it's the IP, it's the IP.
Right.
And Square Enix have some very successful mobile games. They've got Hitman Go, Deus Ex Go, Lara Croft Go.
Yeah.
They're all very successful games. And
Hitman Go is actually pretty good. I played it on Vita.
but imagine if it was I don't know, Monkey Ball Go, or the same game, but it was an IP you'd never heard of, and no one would care about it. So it's it's just a case of Sony leveraging their IP, and like you said, what IPs do they have left, really? They've got God of War, Uncharted, which probably don't translate that well to mobile games. Well, they could do like an Uncharted Go, which is basically Hitman Go.
I think they already did that, though. They tried that with Uncharted. It didn't do well.
I did that, well.
They did like an Uncharted, I don't know, coin game or something.
Yeah, it was something that they came out with around
I think-
Uncharted 4, but I don't know.
Did you guys
think
hear
they
about the Killer Instinct mobile game that got cancelled?
Yeah, I heard about that. Uncharted Fortune Hunter, which was a puzzle adventure game, and apparently, it's on like Android and stuff like. It's called PlayStation Mobile. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah.
I mean, the fact that we don't even know about it shows how successful.
Oh wait, hold on. There's other ones here too. Apparently, there's Nax Quest, guys.
Nope.
Wow. Next.
I haven't played
Quest.
Nax, so I don't know.
Oh,
Knack,
lucky you.
Knack is nothing compared to like Crash or like I said, Ratchet and Clank. See, those names, they have history, and a lot of people know about them already. And nostalgia, like Mooch says, is a hell of a drug. So
Yeah,
if you get
Crash
some of
is
those old
the hero.
titles and you bring them back, obviously Pokemon was popular in the 90s, and now everybody is, not really into it right now, but they were like a couple months ago. So I mean, they could do that, like I said, with certain titles that hit that nostalgia.
Well, that's really interesting, and I'm gonna actually kind of move on to still staying on Sony because I'm sure all you guys are gonna love this topic because, well,
I can't
we
wait.
all know how we all know how I feel about this topic. PS4 Neo specs won't be too different from the leaked ones. Demo running at 4K/30, created by Japanese company, rumored, of course, but I'm sure everyone has seen all the leaks and rumors around about it. Yeah, my thoughts. So, what are your thoughts? Because I really have no opinion on this.
Well,
First of all, I just
Go
want to
ahead.
say real quick that thing is not running big games at 4K. I don't
No,
care.
it's a demo.
Yeah, it's going to be running like maybe indie games or something like that, but that thing is not going to be able to run, like any games. You know what I mean? Like, look, when Scorpio comes out next year, we're probably going to get a bump to like Killer Instinct. That's probably going to be 4K 60. Forza 7 probably 4K 60. Gears might get a bump or what have you. I heard rumors that we might get a Halo 3 anniversary that's going to be 4K 60. So because they really kind of want to show that off, and the first parties are going to need to do that. With Sony's, we've all seen the specs on there. They were producing these things months ago because the mock-up that's been drawn by the people at Foxconn were from months ago, right? So this thing's been in production. Microsoft really kind of knew what they were talking about and what they did. Like, everybody was worried that they showed their hand too soon. But look, this thing's been in production. These things take years to make. It's still going to be, people are still going to buy it. Sony and the PlayStation brand has good recognition worldwide. People are fooled easily, and the media helps. So you're going to see the media say a lot of 4K confusion. You know what I mean? Look in this hand, 4K, but really you're getting 1440 upscaled. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. So
Yeah, like this whole demo thing too that was the big thing that I grabbed too was, it's a demo built specifically for this hardware to show off that it can do 4K 30. But are you going to be able to play Battlefield 1 4K 60 on that kind of stuff? I mean, the hardware we have right now has a hard time even running it at 1080p, 900p, whatever P you want to throw on there.
Xbox One is 720 for Battlefield 1, and PS4 is only
Right.
900. So
Right.
I'm
So
not even sure. Are those even 60 frames? I'm not sure what Battlefield is.
yeah, I don't know. But like I was saying, like, and that goes for the Scorpio too. Is like we don't know like what the final specs are. We kind of know a little bit here and there, but third party and stuff like that are probably not going to hit 4K at all. It's going to be first parties that are going to take advantage of the hardware. And if the specs are from what they leaked, it's really, really going to be hard for Sony to hit 4K in pretty much any of the games.
We got to step back and take a look again. This is that subject there is great discussion with the 4K, but the point that I kind of look at is where is Neo and who's it selling it to? Who are they selling Neo to? I think myself personally, in order for Neo, and this goes for Scorpio too, in order for Neo or Scorpio to be successful, the larger part of both parties' install base needs to rebuy either the Neo or needs to rebuy the Scorpio. And what's going to happen here is now you're a consumer and you say, okay, the Neo's $450, $500. Okay, so why am I buying this unit? I have a PS4. Yeah, right. The PS4 that I currently have in my home right now is fine, and it'll play everything that Sony's going to give me this year. Is it going to be that much of a graphical boost? And the answer is no, it's not.
But it's going to be better graphics, higher fidelity graphics.
Yeah, it'll be higher fidelity graphics.
Fidelity.
But the problem is the Sony camp is saying, "Oh, who cares about 4K? That's not. I don't need a 4K TV. You have to. Why isn't anybody asking Yoshida the same questions they asked Phil? Oh, Yoshida, do I need a 4K TV now to enjoy Neo? Where do I buy a 4K TV? How do you spell 4K? Like, nobody's asking him any questions. The media's not doing any of their due diligence. None.
But could that actually be because of the fact that, Phil Spencer actually engages into, the community and into social media and stuff like that? You do see him around a lot more. And do you think, like, a lot of people actually don't go to Ishida and say all this stuff and whatever because of the fact that he doesn't actually engage with anybody? He is so, like, away and just kind of
your question is pertaining to people like all of us. Does Phil put himself out there to answer more of our questions? Yes, but when IGN, Kotaku, or Polygon, or anybody, even Windows Central, if they go knock on the door, these people should answer. There should be a PR department that answers questions like Microsoft does. And it's like you say, okay, these are the issues that I see with Neo. Can you either resolve them by telling us where we're wrong, or maybe these are issues, and how are you handling it, Sony? No one's asking Sony anything. Everything's like, don't worry about it. Neo's going to be great. Just pick it up. It's great. It's better. It's just better. Is it better? It's like the purple pill for people who have acid reflux. Does it cure it? No, but better's better. What the fuck does that mean? Let's be honest.
Is that an Nexium reference?
I did do a Nexium reference, and I'm not getting paid for that.
It's better.
That's all. People are like, Mooch, you have a PS4. Trade it in, get your $200, put an extra $300 in, and get something better. But what games am I playing? What are you giving me? I don't need to see what crap. You said this a long time ago. We're already playing PS4 games in 1080p. I'm not going to get 1080p-er.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't understand. Why am I buying a Neo? Now, people say to me, well, Mooch, now defend your Scorpio. I said, no problem. Allow me to. So they have UWP in place. So the minute that we get a Scorpio, hypothetically, Gears, Forza Horizon 3, maybe Rise of the Tomb Raider, all these games are going to get a graphical boost with anything that Microsoft has put their hands on. And that, to me, now when I take the Scorpio home day one, I put Gears of War 4 in, that's now a year old, and it's like playing it all over again in that 4K beauty. You know what I mean? No, go ahead, Jez.
It won't be UWP that does that, but
What will be?
It'll just be native, So Microsoft are working to...
Is it a DX12 thing then, Jez?
Well, it's just... I don't know exactly. It's just going to be an XDK feature, a feature of the development kit where they can just say, like, when the game detects it's running on Scorpio, boom, gets more specs, gets higher fidelity graphics. And I know that Microsoft are already working on existing games to run on Scorpio at a higher resolution, higher frame rate.
Awesome.
With better features and all that sort of thing. So it's not a question of Xbox having it's not a question of Scorpio having this stuff out of the box. It will have this stuff out of the box, definitely. You can quote me on that.
That's exactly my point. As a consumer, when you walk into a store, okay, capitalism's great. You hand them your money, you walk out, you're both happy, you got your product. The problem with the Neo is you go home, you plug it into the wall. First of all, it looks like a triple layer devil's cake. But then after you get past the fact that it's the most hideous box, but aesthetics don't matter anymore. But after you get past that, you say, now what do I do with this? And the problem is every time I talk to anybody from the Sony camp, the answer is, well, there's supposedly multiplats coming out that are going to run better. You can never, ever... Listen, as you become more and more of an adult, the one thing you realize is if you want something done best, you do it yourself. And in this world with games, that's called first party. And Sony has no first-party games. That doesn't scare you? Why would you invest another $500 into a company that's giving you better, quote, air quotes, tech, but they're not giving you better software to play these games on something you just spent all this big money on? That's a huge concern if you're a consumer. And if you want to talk about consumer first, that's what we should be talking about. I don't mean us on this panel.
I was going to say, no.
This is the thing, though. Consumers don't care about any of this stuff. They don't know.
They say they do, Jazz. They say they do, but you're right, they don't.
Some do. But if you really look at everything objectively and take a macro view of it, the Xbox One ecosystem, the Xbox ecosystem in general, is just better.
Yes.
All first-party games play anywhere now. You buy them once, you can play them on any device. So eventually, when laptop technology is so good that, even your basic laptops will run these games, you will still own them. You will still be able to play them on Windows 10 in 5 years down the line, and they will work everywhere. You'll be able to play them anywhere with anyone on your friends list from anywhere. So, if you're invested in the Xbox ecosystem, there's a huge future ahead of capabilities, beyond the console, even if you're not going to get an Xbox. Like, for example, my friend is a dedicated PC gamer, but I'm going to be able to play Gears of War 4 Horde mode with him on his PC on my Xbox, because
awesome.
the Xbox Live ecosystem is better. It has cooler features. It's more robust. It's faster, but how do you explain all of these things to a consumer in a very brief, succinct way? You can't do it. So it falls down to people like us who are enthusiasts to try and put that across. And this is one of the dilemmas Xbox has as a marketing entity. It's how do we put across these complex concepts we have? Some of the stuff they're doing is frankly futuristic, and with the cross purchase, the cross play,
Jez,
Sony aren't going to be able to compete with that.
Can I answer your question though? The best way, I'm going to answer your question with one word, and that is time. And let me explain what I mean by that. A long time ago, I can only speak for the United States, Jez, so I don't know if this happened in your theaters over there, but everyone on the panel, do you guys remember being younger? Do you remember when you went to the movie theater, the chairs were stiff, really hard, they barely moved, those big funky red chairs?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was a period of time about 10 years ago when they changed all those. Now they slightly recline. They kind of, they almost like, you can like move them when you shift back, they bounce back with you. There's give. There are a lot more. They have cup holders on both sides, not just one. My point being here was the movie theater didn't say, hey, $20 a ticket, and we got better seats. They never said that. But what happened was, I remember somebody saying to me, have you been to the new Hoyt cinemas or the new Regal cinemas? And I'm like, no. They're like, the seats are insane. They're way more comfortable. And whenever that happened, it just happened with time. And now people are a lot more comfortable, and it's something we don't talk about because it became a standard. Now, what I'm saying here, Jez, is all those cool features you said Xbox has, it is incredibly difficult to let all of those features you mentioned that are so cool that we know about, let the casual public know about that. But with time and people using it and word of mouth, that's something that Sony can never compete with because Microsoft has it built into their recipe. You know what I'm saying?
It's already happening as well.
Correct.
World of Warcraft guilds are using Xbox on Windows 10 on the app to use party chat. They are literally using party chat on the Xbox app, and it's becoming a standard in World of Warcraft. It is slowly becoming a standard. You're totally right.
I'm waiting for World of Warcraft to come to Xbox.
Oh, that'd be great, man. I'd be all over it.
I would play it again for sure.
I don't see why it won't.
It really should. It'd be awesome. I'd be all over that. And
Yeah, I'd
advertise
seriously
it enough
consider
on the
playing
Xbox
that
One.
again.
I would definitely try it out myself. Absolutely.
Real quick, thanks for the 170 out there watching us right now. You guys are awesome. We really appreciate
cool.
it.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah.
maybe I should do a giveaway.
Oh, Jess said he's going to give
nice.
a giveaway.
I saw some codes over there
Fox
earlier.
Yeah.
poster.
Manny
That's
Tattoo
the-
Guy was actually dropping
That's the mooch. That's the mooch rub. You get that because you got mooch in here. Hey, mooch, can I have your autograph before you go?
Well, I was just going to say, if Jez is actually doing a giveaway, don't pay any attention to me participating in the chat. So go ahead, Jez. No.
Well, actually, give a shout out to Ricardo. He actually won a giveaway that Manny Tattoos was doing in the chat. He dropped a couple codes, and
Awesome.
Ricardo got one. So congrats on that one.
Awesome.
Any more news, She-Wolf? Or?
Right?
No, we can officially go back to you, GKB.
Okay.
Well, do you want to just do this giveaway quickly?
Yeah, sure.
I'll
Go
just-
for it, man.
Sure, of course.
Go ahead.
Well, you guys can decide how it's won or whatever, but I will send one of these. I'll put the camera on so you can see. I will send one of these Recor posters that Jeff Rubenstein graciously sent me
Oh, wow.
to.
Can I
someone
just-
that-
Can I win that?
Can I just claim that right now?
Can I just have that? I've
There's a
been
nice post.
trying to get one.
Your guys'
that's
podcast.
Man, we need some like trivia or something for that. Like, what can we do for that?
Ooh.
Console corner trivia. Dig up something from one of your
Oh,
old
see,
episodes.
oh my god, I've been trying to get one of those posters. That's
Oh, I
Can-
feel so
can I-
old. My hip.
Oh shit.
My
Okay.
hip.
Mooch.
Oh wait, my mic's not muted.
I got a question.
Crap. What?
All right, if you guys want to win the poster that Jez is going to give away, here's the question. Who were the original people on the first Console Corner show? If you get them all right in the chat, the first one too, you get it.
Very nice. That's a good question.
I was
I
going to
don't
do a
even think I
Recor
could get
question,
that.
but that works.
Make them dig for it. Make them dig.
Damn.
All right,
I
so-
have to like look back. Look, you can tell they're perfectly.
Yeah, they're like, stop talking in the chat. It's like, just stop. They're like, oh, wait, let's go look for this.
Yeah, they got to go look for it now.
So we're done talking about that Neo.
Yeah, I think so.
So
If there was a snoo sound effect, I'd be playing.
she will be playing.
Yeah.
So let's go
I'll
get
do
This
into.
one.
I was
Oh.
gonna say because the PlayStation Neo is more like for VR, but we all know
Yeah, I
that.
agree.
So
Oh,
we'll
see,
go
no,
on.
that would have been a good question because Black Eagle just said the question should have been, "What's She-Wolf's real name?"
Oh,
Nobody's got it right yet. Come on.
Nope, everybody says it wrong. It was accidentally said once, and everybody.
I think I know it, but I ain't gonna
I
say
don't.
it.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
even
say.
know it.
I know. Well,
Well, people are like posting answers for the first show, and nobody's got it right yet. That's pretty funny.
No.
Nope, it's not that, guys. The very
No.
first show we did, who was on that show? Come on. It's pretty easy.
Well, it was She-Wolf and GKB. I know that much.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, close, but no. Everyone's so close, but
They're very close.
they keep adding Brodo in there.
yeah.
Oh God,
That's
my
funny.
hip.
You're still not muted, crap.
I
Alright.
know.
So let's go ahead and move on to the next topic while we're waiting for
Yeah.
that. She-Wolf can monitor that, I guess. I don't know. So the first game, the first game on the topics I want to talk about is something we kind of talked about, like our favorite games we've been playing this week, and that is Battlefield 1. I want to go around and see what everybody thought. If you got a chance to play it, I don't know if Mooch has or not. So I don't
I
know.
played it with you guys.
Oh, I know you played it.
I didn't play it, and here's the thing. I'm not going to be down on it. I think the game looks great. I've watched a lot of people playing it. I didn't download it because here's the thing. It's not for me. And here's the deal. The game, just like Titanfall was supposed to be the same as Titanfall 1, the one thing that they did right at DICE is they made Battlefield. And I'm not going to sit here and discount that. It's just that Battlefield's not my game. So for me personally, it's still Battlefield. I was hoping that when it came out, this was just me. I'm sure you guys would not have wanted this. But I was hoping that Battlefield 1 was going to change the game a little bit more to bring in a new audience. And I found out, Crap said to me one time on a show, he's like, well, they changed the theme to World War I. That's not enough because I still feel like when you're running and getting sniped on the way to a horse or, She-Wolf even said it. If she can't fly a plane, most people can't fly a plane. And, and that takes out a third of the game.
The plane
And
flying is easier in this one than the chopper stuff
I've
is
heard
in Battlefield 4. Yeah.
I've heard that. But in all honesty, like the thing about it that for me that's kind of a bummer is it's still Battlefield. But Jez, who's a huge Battlefield fan, will say, "Yup, it's still Battlefield, and that's why I love it." So, hey, hats off. So the game is beautiful. It looks like it runs fairly well. A couple of hiccups here and there, but that happens, I think, at the launch of every Battlefield. And then they kind of work the kinks out as the years go by. But yeah, so I'm probably passing on Battlefield 2. Sorry, EA, it's not going to be hard.
I'm gonna quickly
I
cut
knew
in
it.
because somebody actually
Yep, they got
got it right finally. Timodos got it. It was GKB, Zaz, PTK Blam, me, and Asthmatic were the original actual console corner. On the very first one, we talked about the Division.
Yeah. Shout out to Tim. He's from Australia. It's Wednesday
Hey,
over there, by
mate.
the way.
Throw a prawn on the bobby. They
Yeah.
don't call them shrimp. They call them prawns. And dingoes did eat some of
From
these babies.
Australia?
So.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's gonna be sick postage. Alright.
He's like, oh shit.
It's kind of funny because everyone's like the very first episode. But the very first episode, if anyone remembers it, of the console corner was actually when we did it all on the Division. Like
Yep.
it was
It's our
literally our
Division show.
very first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually podcast 0, I believe.
Yeah.
See, and you guys number yours. Like, I could sit there and do a trivia thing and be like, "When Xbox
Would
One
never
comes
find
on,
it.
Tell me the
Never
original
find it.
lineup. Tell me the original lineup of Xbox Nation," and nobody would ever know because it might not even be in a thing. They'd have to literally go through
Every
1,000
video.
videos. Yeah, because just things happen. Things change. But yeah, congrats! You won a cool poster.
I'm so
Yeah,
jelly
so-
of you right now.
If you don't want it, Tim, you know.
Yeah, you know who you
Party.
can send it to.
GKB.
Nah,
Just
get out of
saying.
here. Get out of here. You don't even send stickers
Congrats.
out. Get out of here.
You guys are gonna unbox the collector's edition of that.
No.
No.
No, money got a little tight with the whole console deal stuff. So
Oh, gotcha.
Gotta get
We're
those
actually-
consoles, bro.
trying to get a review code actually to. So,
That's all
anyways,
Gears
Anyways.
unboxing. Hell yeah.
Heck yeah, Gears unboxing for sure.
Well, you know what's
yeah,
great?
yeah, we'll have that.
This upcoming week, we've got 1 week till Recor, and what a great! I was just saying this earlier today. It starts the domino effect of what will be the great holiday season. You've got Recor, and then after that you've got, I mean, if you like it or not, Destiny: Rise of Irons. Then you have Forza Horizon 3. Then the Gears consoles are going to launch about 10 days after that, and then I mean it just gets better and better as you keep going on through. Mafia 3. I mean,
Ooh, Mafia 3.
COD, Battlefield. Dead Rising 4.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. And by the way, I would like to say this. I haven't pre-ordered. Crap did his job of brainwashing me.
I'm trying to get Fox to do that too. I'm like, you're gonna get it anyway.
What I say to people all the
Get
time
out
is,
here.
if you're one of those people that says, I'm not getting it until Activision separates the two, listen, don't even bother. Just stop right there, because I said the same thing a long time ago. If they even do the separation and they sell it as two different SKUs, the nostalgia will be over. I watched, I shame on me, I watched about 20 minutes of what was, I think it was IGN that had the footage out from the Call of Duty remaster. I wish I didn't even watch it, because as fun as it was to see those old maps, I can already tell that about after 2 weeks of playing them, I will feel just like I did after a year and a half of playing them prior. I'm done with this shit. So I think that what I'm saying to you is, if it's something you want to relive with the community, get it now. Because in February, no one's playing
The
it.
thing is, I don't even see them actually because they took so much effort to actually put the two games into one disc. I don't see them ever actually separating it and selling just one or the other. I don't see it happening.
Well, let me say this real quick, all right? Even if they did separate it 6 months later, they're gonna sell it for $50 or $60 on its own. You can get both games for $80. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just get it.
Yeah, it's a pretty
That's
good
what
deal.
I'm saying, because they're gonna give the initial 10 maps at launch, and then in December you get the last 6. So you're gonna get all 16 maps.
You
know
gotta
what I
pay
mean?
for that? The extra 6?
No. The maps just, I guess they're just coming.
We don't know.
Yeah.
They'll probably come with that first DLC pack for
I
like
know you
Infinite
guys are
Warfare
trying
and
to
stuff.
get me, but I'm still gonna say no. I mean, you got good points. I just don't want the other game. I don't care for the new game. I only like the remaster, and even then, I'd rather see how it plays. Because if it plays like doo-doo, I'm not gonna waste my money.
Here's the thing.
So I
Look,
actually have a question for everyone. I thought we were talking about Battlefield 1. How'd this go into Call of Duty?
because
shooters.
Mooch hijacked it. He's like,
Yeah,
we're not
I
talking
do.
about
Moose be
that.
hijacking.
How am I good? Yeah, Battlefield Day. How about Call of Duty or anything
Yeah.
else? How about those Gears weapons?
Call of Duty's on the
How about
docket.
that
We're
Horde
gonna get to that.
3.0, yeah.
Hey, I heard. Yeah, I heard there was a new Recor video today. Let's talk.
Yeah,
about
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, guys.
Well, yeah.
I have to say,
Battlefield is
I love the
awesome.
horses in the Battlefield. I was chopping people up like freaking left and right.
Yes.
I
Why do the
love
horses
that.
have tank defense though?
I don't
Like-
know either. That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, I'm sitting there unloading on these horses, and I was like, poor horses, but damn, they won't die.
Horses
They
were just stronger back then, man. They don't
They're
make
just stronger back then.
That's the historical.
Because the horses had to walk uphill to work.
got, like-
and go both ways. And
They got like yeah. They got horse armor like from Oblivion, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, I accidentally ran a horsey over with a car. I felt really bad about it.
Did
I
you see
didn't.
that? Because the horses like jump automatically. Like it's actually really cool the way they've done it. So you don't have to so you can concentrate on shooting while you're riding this horse around, and the horse automatically jumps over things. But the horse is actually. Not only is it like invincible, but it's also the most agile horse in the world. So like,
I actually have it in a glitch, and I actually have a video where it's glitched, and it's actually sitting like a dog.
Yeah, I seen the
saw a
horsey
video
jump
where-
over other horsies.
Yeah, I saw a video where the horse, like, the guy takes the horse up some steps and the horse, like, jumps from one building to another like it's Assassin's Creed and then lands on this tiny little pole, like, automatically jumps. It's like, what the hell is a park horse? A park horse?
Park
Get it?
horse.
I got a question for you guys with like Battlefield 1. So we only played like one map, and I was playing for like hours and hours and hours, and I was just enjoying it the whole time. I didn't care that we only had one map. Did everybody else get that same like feeling
You know
too?
what? I did, and I'm going to jump ahead of everybody else. I just want to say this. Depending on which side you spawn and stuff, you maybe didn't even play the whole map, depending on how, because those matches take like a long time. So like some of the time, like I'm surrounded by the rocks and stuff, and then some of the times you're more out in the open. You know what I mean? So at some of the time, I'm hiding in buildings and stuff. So to me, it seemed like multiple maps most of the time. So yeah, like I didn't mind it either. I played it a long time. I think I leveled up to like level 10 or something, or 11. So yeah, I played it.
I got to like 18. But you know, the whole sand like storms that they put into it, it gave it that actual variety just on its own because of the fact, you know, you're playing the standard map and then all of a sudden the sandstorm would come in and you can't find shit.
That's what I like about it, though. I like that whole like fog of war
There's a
type
nice
thing.
chat going on in the chat box. That's funny. You just said she beat you.
It did come off weird, JKB.
It's
Yeah,
all good.
I'm not even commenting on that.
Well, no, everyone's sucking up to She-Wolf. They're like,
I know, they're all talking about my
And
accent.
I'm like, it's Canadian. You guys ever heard Canadian accent before? Come on. Jez is
Everyone
actually
knows mine.
much
Everyone knows
lovelier.
To IRA, we don't. We're putting I think a poll up this week. We don't know the game yet, so we'll let you know as soon as we can.
It's gonna be Overwatch. Wait, what?
How can
Yeah,
it be
what?
Right.
Overwatch? I don't have it.
What?
Overwatch is actually free this weekend.
Oh, is it? Huh.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
Maybe I'll
But I'm
download it.
joking. It hasn't
Overwatch
been
it is.
confirmed.
Cheers, love.
All right, so let's move on from Battlefield. Oh, this is great. Oh,
I'll
man.
just say two things. Battlefield's awesome. I can't wait for the game.
It
Same
was
here.
really fun. I
It's
just need to
fantastic.
play it with you guys because I sucked at it.
I'm gonna
You've
be
been
there
busy
day
the
one.
last couple weekends, buddy.
I know, but hopefully that's getting better now. So maybe I join in next community game time.
That would be awesome, man. You're always welcome.
Would.
Thank you.
So the next game we want to talk about is Gears 4. Not so much the main
Gears.
game, but Horde 3.0, my favorite mode of all Gears games. So a lot of people were playing it at PAX West. They put out a lot of gameplay of it. What did everybody think of Gears Horde 3.0?
I think it looks great, and it's going to be what I put the most time in for multiplayer. I think this holiday season.
I don't know about the most, but I'm definitely gonna play.
No,
a
for me
shit
it
ton
will
of
be because I
Horde.
like co-op stuff. So me and my friends will be playing that a lot.
I suck at Gears and PvP so bad, so I'll be playing Horde mode instead.
That's kind of how I am too. But I love Horde though.
It seems like there's like more enemies on screen now, because like you'll be able to get so many turrets. I've got to send more enemies at you to balance it out, and there's going to be 50 waves of that stuff, and boss waves and everything. Oh man, it's going to be pure carnage, like blood everywhere and guts.
Oh, yeah.
And love it, love it.
Oh my god, Horde is crazy. Like, especially when you're playing with GKB. For anyone who ends up playing Horde with GKB, be warned. He has like these systems that he likes to do when he's playing these style of games. And if you like die, he'll be like, "Stop dying so much."
You suck! Get off my team now! Nah, I
So
don't do that.
funny, but it's like, oh my god, it's hilarious playing Horde modes with him.
Yeah, I get very tactical.
GKP rage out on someone for screwing up horde mode.
I told you to put that thing over there. What's wrong with you? Nah, I would never do that. But I think it's really cool though. I think it's interesting with the class system too. Like, you got the sniper class and all that kind of stuff. What did you guys think of like the fabricator and all that? Like with the box, you can bring it anywhere and kind of set up your own kind of camp thing. I thought that was really cool too.
I like it. It's like tower defense kind of. I like the aspect. I think they're doing a lot to kind of to really improve it and make it appeal to a good audience. And they have to do that with that mode because there's a lot of people that suck at the traditional multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to keep people doing something. You know what I mean? So I think that it actually looks really cool. I'm really excited for it. The entire game just looks phenomenal.
Yeah, I was worried about the class system there for a second. Sorry, Jess, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Nah, you speak. I'm speaking too much.
Okay.
No, you're not.
Yeah, speaking too much, man. It's cool. I think it's cool. Like, I was worried about the class system at first, though, because I was like, oh, sniper. I don't want to be like get stuck on a sniper class because I want to like do rushing or whatever, kind of like that. But they say that you can still pick up other weapons and do whatever. You just get like bonuses and stuff towards that class or whatever you're using. So I thought that was really cool too.
What is with the weird old man in this like picture? Like,
Oh, it's
are
just
these, like,
concept art stuff that I just put up there.
Oh, I was like, what the heck?
So about that horde mode, She-Wolf.
I commented on it. I want to hear Fox on this.
Yeah, she's so quiet. It's Gears. Come on, Fox.
Well, I'm not feeling well, but I did talk about it yesterday with the ladies. So if you guys haven't seen that, you should check it out after this. Plug right quick. And I think I scared them when I was freaking out about horde mode yesterday. They were like,
Did you have too many Kit Kats? Because that happens
yeah,
sometimes. You know?
yeah. I ate some Kit Kats yesterday, and then I was super
need a
hyper.
Kit Kat now.
Yeah, I just ate one right now. But besides that, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not gonna freak out like I did yesterday, but yeah, horde mode looks amazing. I really like what they're doing and adding the class. And I'm gonna be engineer. That's gonna be awesome.
Ooh, engineer,
And
nice.
yeah, I like. Yeah, it has a shoddy, so of course.
Oh.
I'm all about that heavy, baby. Oh,
Yeah, it's cool that you
Crystal.
can
Oh,
pick up other weapons and you could move that crate over to the area you wanna like defend and stuff like that. So, it's cool that you're gonna have the DBs, the swarm, and some ugly ass looking monsters. So I can't wait to shoot at all of them.
Same here.
I interviewed Ryan Cleven, who's the lead designer of
The Ryan Cleven? Wow.
Did you not? Did you guys not see that?
No.
Yeah, I interviewed Ryan Cleven on Windows Central.
Yeah,
Nobody
I
read
shared
it though,
that
because it's
article.
I
like
read it.
you read it. Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
My editor was like, this article's too long. No one's gonna read this. And I was like, oh man. And he was right. Nobody read it. But yeah, it was a really cool. It was a really cool interview. You know, he said that like the classes, they're not sort of like. They're not like as strict as RPG classes where you know you're locked into a role. Like you say, it's like you can still pick up whatever weapons you want to use. You can still pick up the heavy weapons if you're a sniper and have fun with those, or the boom shot, or you know you can pick up any of the new weapons. But you'll get like bonuses. You get like these cards, and you take the cards in with you to battle, and the cards sort of let you shape your class a bit more. So there might be cards that are like really good for specific types of weapons, like gives you bonuses for getting headshots, for example. But then again, there might be more general cards that just like improve reload speed and that sort of stuff. So you could still play a sniper, but not be completely restricted to sniper rifles, for example. So there is customization and leeway, and you know, to do whatever you like there. So it does sound really, really cool, and I really like the direction they've gone in. I was like, when they said to me, like, because I've known about, I teased this horde mode stuff like on previous podcasts I've been on, and I couldn't tell anyone about it because like I had it all under embargo, and it was driving me mad because how amazing it sounded. And when they announced when they told me about the engineer class, I was just like, wow. I just imagine like a Torbjorn in Gears of War, you know, smacking a turret with a mallet, you know. It sounds really cool. We're actually Windows Central is actually heading up to Vancouver to the Coalition headquarters to speak and play the game directly next week. They actually invited me, but my company was like, yeah, we've got people who live nearer.
That sucks.
Yeah, it really does suck. I was like, oh. I was almost thinking like, shall I pay for the flights and hotel myself? But I don't have that much savings right now, and I want to get like a 4K TV for Xbox One S and stuff. But yeah, Gears. I wasn't that hyped for Gears 4. I just thought it was going to be one of those games that were like, yeah, it's Gears of War. I know it's going to be good. I don't have to get hyped for it too much because I know it's going to be so good. But it's just going to be Gears. But it seems like it's going to be so much more than.
Yeah, I agree.
It seems like a leap for the series, and now I'm hyped enough for it that I've bought the loot crate
It's
Yeah.
amazing
Hell yeah.
it's amazing what Rod and his team were able to do. They're doing something I think right now that a lot of us maybe a year and a half ago would have all said, even myself included, not sure if they could recreate that mystique around it. When Gears of War originally came out on 360, a lot of people bought 360 because of that game, and I think because of the resurgence with what's going on with Xbox One S, I think Gears 4 is going to have the exact same effect. I think you're going to see quite a spike in Xbox sales because of Gears of War. I really think it has that kind of power right now.
Unlimited power.
Unlimited power. No, like I just think it has that
like
potential.
Halo. Gears is almost like Halo at this point. And I think because I really wanted to tease out of Ryan Cleven that they were gonna like be shipping content drops for Horde mode to give it that longevity that Warzone has had in Halo 5. And he said he didn't want to comment about future plans, but they have created Horde mode with expandability in mind. So hopefully people will be playing Gears 4 with new monsters, new classes, and hopefully Gears Horde mode will keep the game relevant for months to come. And like I'm sure Halo 5 is still a system seller because Halo 5 is always coming up on Reddit all the time, not even in just Xbox subreddits. It comes up on our gaming sometimes because some of the stuff people are creating in Forge is just crazy, and it's emergent gameplay that keeps a game relevant over time, like mods, like regular content drops, and that sort of thing. So, and Horde mode looks like that emergent gameplay aspect of Gears 4, and I think Microsoft have really realized that they need to keep the community engaged with the game, to keep it in the news.
Because that was the thing that they kind of dropped the ball with on the previous Gears was the hardcore stuck around, and then the people there was not really much for people that were newer to the game. Like, because this is the problem that you would have is they do a ranked mode and then a casual mode or whatever. But the ranked people will play the casual stuff just because they're going to smack around the casual players, and it'll tick off the casual players, and then the casual players leave. So you need something like a really good horde mode. The other horde modes weren't. I think they were only like 10 rounds or something.
No, they were 50.
Were they all
2 and
50?
3. Yep,
Maybe
2
it was
and 3,
beast
but not
mode,
Judgment. If you think
Beast
about
mode
Judgment, that one had 10.
Well,
Yeah.
everyone said Judgment doesn't count anyways. It shouldn't have been in Gears to begin
But
with.
you know what I like is they got away with the pack of cards or whatever, right? Those are basically like their amiibos. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I have
add-on
to.
DLC. Yeah, see, I'm gonna buy some too, right? Like I like that they did that. I wish they would
I
have
got
done
this
that with
cool
the
like
Halo
flowery
cards?
gun or something.
I wish they would have done that with the rec packs on Halo. I would have loved to buy some Halo rec packs, like physical rec packs. Man, those would have been pretty kick ass.
Yeah, this one's come with code, so you can put them in the game.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, like different. You get them from like games. Well, like here
I
it's
got it.
GameStop.
Yeah, I got
bet
it
they're
from
not
GameStop.
available in the UK. I bet that's what it is again.
I don't know.
You have EB Games, right? So or
No, they have just game, I think.
oh yeah, Canada's
Yeah,
EB
game.
Games. So you guys have games. Ask
Game
them
used
to
be
see
EB
because
Games, actually.
you may have to actually like ask them and see if they sell them.
I'm
Yeah, but that
surprised
means
Jess
I
doesn't have
to
them.
close one and leave the house. So
They did have them in E3 and in packs and stuff like that though. So
how did I not know about this?
yeah.
I got like we opened one recently. We got a couple free from GameStop, and they it had like flower guns and all this in it. I was like, what?
You need to post me some, man. I need to give you my address and send you some money. You need to post me.
So, I'm going to actually quickly change the subject here for a minute. Jez, we have a new update that just came out on the Xbox One. Can you talk to everybody about that?
Oh yeah, I've been waiting for this for ages because again, this is something that I knew about weeks ago, but couldn't tell anyone about. So I've just sort of teased it on separate podcasts that next week's going to be really awesome, Xbox fans, and then they delayed it. So now it's finally rolling out. It's Xbox Clubs and Xbox Looking for Group, and man, it's like Mooch said again. These things will take time to really feel the true impact of it. Yeah. But clubs and LFG are going to become standards in gaming, and I'll tell you why. It's because loads of people nowadays, they for games like Destiny and games like Elite Dangerous that don't have very good systems for meeting gamers in the game. Lots of people are using Reddit, subreddits, and even third-party websites to find groups of people to play with.
Yep.
But what if they could do that directly from their Xbox or directly from an app, and or from their phone and whatever? And that's what looking for group and clubs are. So anyone can make a club on Xbox Live. You just go to the community tab and there'll be a new button, a new section for clubs. You just click create a club. Anyone can do it. You reserve your name, you create the name of the club, and then you can associate the club with certain games, like whatever games the people of the club are going to play. And when you do that, you will see the clubs advertised on those game hubs. So if I make a club for Elite Dangerous, you'll see my Elite Dangerous club advertised on Elite Dangerous's hub, and you can see that hub on the Xbox app. You can see it on the iOS, Android, and Windows Phone app as well. And and again, it's like this whole thing where people in World of Warcraft, for example, are using Xbox Live's party chat to organize their raids and stuff like that. Well, soon they'll be able to advertise their guilds through the Xbox Live app. They'll be able to take applications for guild members through the Xbox Live app. And, it's not just World of Warcraft. It's any game. It's any topic. You can make a club around any idea. And Major Nelson was saying he made a club specifically to stay in touch with friends from college. I saw a club that was, specifically for females only. I saw that club at E3. A club for no trash talking, so Crap Gamer and Mooch wouldn't be allowed in. And that sort of thing. So it's going to be really cool because it's just another pillar of features, and Xbox Live's becoming more and more like a social network almost.
Yeah.
For us, for gamers, and that's really exciting to me. It's like I kind of wish Xbox Live had hashtags and stuff, so you could when you're posting status updates, you can browse what people are talking about. I wish it was a little bit easier to talk on there, but it's getting to that point, man.
I believe Mike Ybarra tweeted out today that emojis are now in our text.
Yes, emojis are now on Xbox Live as well.
I don't know why I read. You know what? I read N4G, right? And I know this is changing the subject. And I did a video about this other developer who's talking about Scorpio and Neo, and he's like, "Well, it's going to come down to a lot more than just the T-flops in this." And now this other developer has said the same thing. I can't see a clear winner based on hardware specs. It'll be about the games. And I'm like, you MFer, you CSer. Seriously, are you crazy? I'm sitting here choking on my own rage trying to reply to comments in here, and I'm like, where was all this stuff at the beginning of the generation? All we had shoved down our throats was power, resolution, power. Which multiplats had more blades of grass? Why is the narrative changing? I'm seriously pissed off.
Yeah, there's a double standard out there, and it's awful.
Just yesers.
Fable Legends had 3D grass. It was so cool. I'm just throwing that in there.
I loved Fable
Legends
Legends.
is
I was
awesome.
so mad that they canceled it.
Yeah, I didn't like Fable Legends that much when I played it. It just felt kind of, I don't know.
Did you play it right up to the point where they canned it? Because they really added a lot of RPG elements.
Yeah, they did.
I went
like
back
the
to
werewolves.
it. It was definitely getting better. So it could have gone someplace, but it's unfortunate that it was trash.
I think it just sucked up too much money, and they just decided enough's enough. Oh well.
Phil doesn't
Moment of
like.
silence.
Yeah, Phil doesn't like the when developers can't deliver on time and stuff.
So he would have canceled The Last Guardian a long time ago.
Oh, Gran Turismo, that franchise would be dead. That studio would be closed down.
They're still making a Gran Turismo?
It was
delayed.
Yeah, they delayed it, and now they refunded all the digital. The people that digitally pre-ordered it, they're going to they're refunding the money. They canceled it. You can't pre-order it anymore digitally. So.
Damn.
Yeah. So did we talk about
Is that game in danger of being canceled indefinitely?
They didn't give a release date or any time. They're just next year sometime.
If they're refunding stuff, it's probably going to be a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too good.
Yeah, sure.
Well, this could also have to do with look, I know that we're all excited about some of us about new hardware, right? But some of this stuff could come into play. Some of these delays and stuff could all be because now you're throwing a moving target at some of these developers, You know, like this game, like Gran Turismo, for example, and this is more on the PlayStation side because I guess there's like UWP and whatnot on the Xbox side, but like, you know, they're basically forced to do multiple versions of the games, and now they're like, you know, they got this really slow developer, and now they're like, okay, well, you know, do it for the PS4. They've been working on the PS4 game for what, 3 years, and now they're like, but we need it to run on the Neo too, so go ahead and do that version too. And this is a very slow developer. So, I mean, that could be a reason why you get a delay. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, that's
Rack
a good
that
point.
up. Think
Rack it
about
up.
it.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. You're saying that actually the fact that there has to be a Neo mode, they have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's like the Xbox thing where it's like Scorpio's gonna detect the stuff and just do it. You know what I mean? Like if you read through the documents, they're like, you have to do a Neo mode, and it's got to be this, this, and this, and it's got to, you know, it's basically a lot more work for developers.
Right.
Developers.
Always love when we have crap and mooch on.
Yeah. Hey, what about it?
People are like, "What game are we talking about?" We're all over the place.
I actually had kind of more to that, but then I'm like, wait, if I continue that, that may kind of sound off rude when I don't mean it to.
Wait, did Jez talk about clubs and everything?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of more or less saying.
I jumped in
it's
there and
always
hijacked
great
it.
to
I'm
have.
sorry.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
kind of more
that
or
was
less what
crap.
I was saying. Always great to have crap and mooch on because they always know how to diverse a conversation to something that has nothing to do with the topic.
Well, that's why, you know, in all honesty, a lot of times if you're on like Xbox Nation or Crossfire, we send out those lists of topics, and I think, Jez, you've seen it. You've been on Crossfire
I don't think we
a bunch of
ever.
times. I don't think we ever really stick to.
No.
We go all over the place. You know what I mean?
It's fun though. It's a good time.
It is.
All right, Jez. So tell us about these clubs, man. Tell us about these features.
The no cursing ones that me and Mooch can't join in.
Yes.
That's
Well,
interesting.
I already spoke a bit about clubs. It's just, you know, it's for gamers to create communities, and there's like going to be a shared chat room as well, so you can like see like a feed in your phone, you know, and a shared feed and a share for clips and screenshots, and a shared showcase as well, so you can showcase your group's best content and that sort of stuff. So like, you know, you guys do like the best clip of the week. You could feature that on a, you know, GKB club, you know, and that sort of thing. But beyond clubs, we've also got looking for group coming as well, which is a little bit more what I was talking about with people using websites to find raid buddies for Destiny and stuff like that. One of the reasons I never kept up with Destiny was because I didn't know anyone who played it at the time. So it was like, oh wow, I can't raid because I don't know anyone, and I'm not going to go hunting for people to play with on websites and stuff. So I just sort of, you know, quit out and stuff. But now I'll be able to like fire up the looking for group tab on the Destiny hub, see like we're looking for one more person with a microphone to do this raid, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then I will be able to apply for that ad, and then they'll be able to approve me and instantly invite me into their group. So you know, it's going to be a cool way to make new friends, hopefully. A cool way for guilds and clans to find new players. You know, like esports groups, even they'll be able to say, you know, we're looking for super pro players with this level of gear and this level of experience to join our esports team, and you know, that sort of thing. So it's just that Xbox Live is going to get a whole lot more social. I do think like they need a website layer to go with all this. They need to port some of these features onto a website, because not everyone. I mean, it would be cool if it was on a website so people who don't have Windows 10 can access it, because at the minute you need to do it through the Windows 10 app or one of your phone apps. So that would be pretty cool, but you know,
when can everyone actually expect to see this?
Well, it's going out in waves to preview program now. It's going out to people who left the most feedback right now, like the top 1%. So some people have already got it. I don't have it because I don't leave much feedback.
Oh, what? I got it.
Oh, you got it. I don't have it yet, but yeah, it should be rolled out to everyone in the next few days on the preview, and then roll out to the public later this month or maybe early next month, depending on delays.
That's
Microsoft
awesome.
always listening to the fans.
No, I'll tell you, Jez gave a good example. I mean, and I know a lot of you guys all kind of departed from Destiny, but I'm still playing it. And there's times where, like last night, we had 5 people hit me up, and they're like, "Yeah, we've got a definite lock for 5 people to do the raid. We need one more person." And yeah, there's LFG. You can go ahead and do that on. You know, they have that on the you can go to the website and do all that stuff. But myself personally, that's a turn off to me. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to go on my computer and look for it, or on my phone. Look, if it's built internally into the system, it just works better. And this is something right now where you could say, okay, I could put it out there in the group. I need first 5 names. We're doing a raid. Get a hold of me on Twitter or hit me up here. Blah blah blah. And like it's convenient, and that's what this does. It does tie the community more in together. This is huge. Jez, this is what we're saying. Time, right? With time, this will be something that we look back and go, how did we even play without this?
Hopefully, and that's what Microsoft hopes, because it's not just Xbox, it's for Windows 10 as well. It's for games that aren't even attached to Xbox Live, like World of Warcraft, and any game like that has a multiplayer component, like Ark Survival Evolved. I can see people using it for that. People are going to use it for Sea of Thieves, I imagine, and State of Decay as well. State of Decay 2, I imagine they'll use it with that. Man, off topic again, but I can't wait for State of Decay 2 so bad.
Same here, bro.
I want that game so bad.
I love the first one.
First one's
Scorpio launch title.
There's so much stuff to look forward to if you're an Xbox fan right now. There's so much stuff to look forward to.
No, Xbox has no games. Jazz, come on, give it the time.
Yeah, we don't have anything coming.
No, nothing. No games.
Well,
man.
what does Tommy and Fox think about, the clubs and looking for a group and everything?
I think it's a great idea. I mean, I've been looking forward to this update to get these features for a while, because games like Sea of Thieves I think will benefit greatly from this, because I don't always have people on my friends list that are available to play it. So a game like that, like Mooch was saying with Destiny with the raids, it'll be, and I don't like to use the third-party apps or go to the websites either, so it'd be kind of nice to just do it from the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I like that everything is going to be right there, easy to access. You could have your club, and hopefully we could have some console corner or some Gamer Knows Best club. That would be nice, and then everybody could talk and share clips in there. So that would be really, really fun. And obviously the group is nice too, because obviously there's certain games out there that you can't find any people to game with. I'm going to say like The Division. I don't have anybody to get back into that game with and do some DLC stuff, so maybe I could go to the groups and look for some people.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I think GKB has something to say about the clubs then.
Oh yeah, I just hopped on there, got the Console Corner podcast club going. So if you're in the preview, go ahead, join away. We'll add you, no problem. We got some cool tags on there already. It says,
I think this is also good for people like me who aren't ultra competitive in multiplayer games. You can find like a match of people in like Halo of just like, let's just mess around and shoot each other and not get like angry and pissed off.
Yeah, Jez didn't tell us that there was a banned crap gamer tag in that one already. So
banned crap gamer.
Seriously?
No, not seriously.
Oh.
She was like, whoa.
You're gonna give
Well, it
people
wouldn't
an
surprise
idea.
me.
You're gonna give people an idea.
This is
Crap
one of the
always
interesting things about social. Microsoft doesn't do social. They've never done social, really. And you can sort of see that now, because we've got this trending content thing on the community tab, and there's so much junk appearing on that tab.
Yeah,
Major Nelson said on Reddit that they're looking into it. There's so much clickbait on Xbox Live right now, and they said they're looking into solving it. And this is going to be interesting, because people could use these social features to make really nasty clubs and nasty tags and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they moderate that, because little kids use Xbox at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So look at so much clickbait on here.
Yeah, there's moderating features that you could have within the club and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, but what about just other people's
The
clubs?
assholes who don't care to modify.
Yeah, I know.
right.
I just,
Right.
well,
So it'll be interesting to see.
Can
what
you view the clubs without being on Xbox Live? Like, is there like a browser thing you can look at, or
You can use any of the apps. Not yet, but they'll be updated, so you'll be able to view clubs and looking for group on the apps. So iOS, Android, Windows 10, 10 mobile,
and emoji support? Nice.
That's
and
what I'm talking
emojis.
about.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Nice.
about.
Oh, and one other little feature of this update is the gamer score leaderboard is no longer a rolling 30-day tally. It now restarts at the start of the month.
Thank God.
So every month it'll be a competition rather than a constant rolling 30-day thing, and you'll be able to view previous months to see who was the best.
Oh,
So
I read that article and I saw that I was on top, Mr. Michael Barra.
Oh, she's calling him out.
Actually, no, I didn't call him out. Jez called him out for me.
Well, I mean now. You are now. So yeah.
That's awesome. Cool.
So great.
I want to get into one more game before we grab a couple questions from the chat there, and then we can get out of here. And that they had a nice stream today for Recor. I think the game looks fantastic. I don't know if anybody else got to check out the stream, but they also have like
Recor!
They also have like 15-minute video and all this like other kind of stuff up there. What do you guys think about Recor? I don't think this is like a AA game to me. This thing looks like a nice AAA game.
It looks great. I mean, like I was watching it and it looked fantastic. The guy's like, he confirmed it took him 15 hours to beat it. So I mean, that's an incredible amount of time. I beat Uncharted 4 in less time than that. I beat Ratchet and Clank in less time than that. You know what I mean? I think that we play games all the time that are considered AAAs that are much less content than that. So yeah, I'm really excited to play through this game. I thought it looked really fun. It looks a lot. It reminds me of like a spiritual successor to like Metroid, to be honest with you. So I'm really glad that they got the female character with like the robot dogs and stuff. I really dig that.
What impressed me about it, and I haven't seen today's footage, but when I watched the footage that came out the other day, is that I like how in depth I'm calling it the RPG system or whatever it is, where you build your character up. There's so many options to get the character built up and stronger, different weapons, there's the different cores, there's the different sidekicks. And it's not just plain vanilla 1, 2, 3, plug in this, plug in that, and go. There's a lot to it. And Jez, I think it was when you first came back from E3, you were pleasantly surprised, you told me, with the amount of how in depth the game actually played. You said you thought it was going to be easy, and there was a lot more to it.
I saw that game and I thought, this game's not aimed at me. It's it's aimed at younger audiences because I don't play games like Ratchet and Clank, and I like games that I said this to Joseph Staten at Gamescom. I said I like games that have chainsaws. I like games that have blood and guts. I'm kind of shallow like that. But I was really surprised with Recor because it did make me feel like I was a little kid playing Super Metroid again.
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
Super Metroid is one of my. I have so much nostalgia for Super Metroid. It was one of the first games I played that made me truly love gaming, and like the amount of exploration in that game is just there's so much. And even in the really short demo from E3 and Gamescom, it was the same demo that I played. There were so many secrets, and some of the secrets you couldn't access because I didn't have the upgrades you needed, and the whole Metroidvania thing of backtracking to get more upgrades and that sort of thing. It's almost like Doom as well, like the recent Doom game where you can look almost anywhere and there's probably a secret somewhere. So I like that gameplay, and like I said to him, I have this memory of Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo, and even in the very first area when you first land down on the planet, there are like secrets everywhere. And like when you go back to that first area, when you've got like the jump boost and the screw attack, you can like jump and go through this wall. And I remember doing that randomly as a kid and powering through this hidden wall and finding all these secrets. And I was like, wow, that is. And I asked him, does Recor replicate that feeling? And he was like, that's what we're going for with Recor, is awesome. that Super Metroid feeling. And Joseph Staten told me that, who created Halo and Destiny. So
yeah, he was on that stream today and talked about a lot of stuff. Sorry there, Tommy. I thought like when he started the game and he's looking out in this like vast like world, I thought it looked fantastic. Like I couldn't believe how big and beautiful it looked. He touched on like the jumping and the dash and all that kind of stuff. But I thought what was really interesting is like when you're fighting, it also has like a combo meter. So the higher the combos get, the more damage you do to them. I also liked how he was saying that the combat is like fluid and frantic, and there's no cover mechanics. It's pretty much just dodge everything. I took a bunch of notes on this stuff, man. Like each core is color 2, which he was kind of explaining a little bit, and it's kind of like it almost touches on like an emotion. Like blue was like happy because the Mac was blue, and it's also like an electrical power, so he can like charge and do all kinds of stuff like that. The extractor was kind of cool. He said you can use that to open up some of the doors and pull like orbs and stuff like that. The crafting system you guys already touched on, which is awesome. Let's see, what else do we Yeah, the 15 hours of gameplay, the search. Oh, he was talking about Mac too, and how it has like each of them have like their special ability. Like Mac can he's like a dog, so he can like sniff out stuff and secrets like dug into the dirt and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was really cool. So I can't wait to see the other frames and what they have. Right. So that's gonna be kind of really really cool stuff. Anybody else?
I was gonna say, did it go quiet or did it just cut out?
I thought it cut out there.
Out for a second.
No, I think the thing is, a lot of people are saying, this and that about Recor. I think Recor will become a surprise hit, and that's not me promoting it anymore. Look, if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. But what I'm saying to you is, I think that this game has tremendous potential, and I'm hoping. Listen, what do they always say? What's the old expression? You throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, right? Mm-hmm. Microsoft's thrown a lot of things at the wall since this generation started. And I think this one may stick. I think this might be the one. And of all the ones they did come out with, this would be really something stellar if it did, because it's a fun game. And Crap's right. It does have that Metroid Prime feel to it. And those games bring back the nostalgia, the youth, the way you felt. But it brings that 2016 feel to it, and gunplay and gameplay. Yep. And listen, there's a lot of really great things that can come out of this besides the fact that you enjoy yourself for 12 hours.
And also, Mooch, Microsoft doesn't have that kind of game in its stable of IP.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. Like, they didn't have a Quantum Break, and the gamers didn't really support that, unfortunately, This is another one, It's like gamers need to support these, or, even though they all complain, all we get is Forza, Halo, and Gears, which I love those games, right? So I'm cool with that, but you can't complain about those as being the ones we get, because those are the ones that are delivered and we expect. But it's the other ones, you got to be able to support those too. And I think this has a good price point, and it's like, hopefully, like Ori, that looks like that's going to be a rotation game too. Like, I guess that sequel leaked or whatever. So, hopefully people really rush and get this game and it's successful. It's just kind, what's kind of sad is seeing the Recor Twitter beg people to retweet for awareness. I feel so bad for it. I'm like,
that's funny.
Poor Recor. You know what I mean? It's like,
I wish they would get behind this a little bit more. But.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I think it's going to get around an 80 Metacritic, right around there. People might jump onto this game just based on word of mouth and things like that, because I think it is going to surprise a lot of people. So hopefully it does well, and does well enough to get. But to become a franchise, because this is looks like what could be a really great addition to the Microsoft stable of IP.
Yeah, I want to ask Jez real quick a question. When you were at the conventions and stuff, and other I don't know, reporters or whatever you want to call it, journalists, they're playing the game, did they also have good feedback for this game?
Where's the crickets?
Sorry. Feedback. I didn't really talk to anyone else. I mean, I didn't really hear anyone say anything negative about it. When I go to these events, I just sort of ignore everyone and just play games and talk to Xbox people. And there's there's other journalists walking around, and people have name badges on. And you can see what outlets they're from and stuff like.
Wait, this Nintendo emulator can't come to Xbox One? What?
That's not a UWP app, so it's not coming to Xbox One. That's something else.
But I saw a bunch of things saying that it was coming to Xbox One.
Well, it could, but it needs to be ported to UWP first.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was looking forward to that, man. Like a Sega Nintendo emulator app. That sounds beast.
Crap's just talking
that dream.
Crap's just talking about something from Twitter, because a website just posted a link to an article saying that a Nintendo emulator from UWP is coming to Xbox One, but the app they're talking about isn't UWP app. So, Xbox One app needs to be UWP. The app they've linked is a Windows. It runs on the Windows 8 runtime, so it can't work on Xbox One.
You heard it here first, people.
Well, it can run on Xbox One, but it won't. It needs to be UWP.
Cool.
That's weird.
That's
kind of back to Recor. You guys were talking before the show about anyone who actually watched the video and stuff, how the dev actually got stuck in some spots, and you had Crab Gamer who actually said if he can't do it, well, how am I gonna do it? And GKB said he created the game and he couldn't. it's just things like that you know that this game is actually that good when the developer themselves are trying to play through it, and they even get stuck on certain spots, and they're showing the difficulties of this game without just playing through it like, oh, see, I can get through this quick and fast. They're actually showing you that there is some challenges to this game, and anyone who didn't watch the stream should definitely go see it. It is on the what's it called, the vlog or blog or whatever the fuck you want to call it on Beam. So go check that out.
See, someone's bringing up in the chat that they think it looks great, but it's gonna bomb Recor, and I do kind of get this vibe about Recor that I got with Quantum Break, where mainstream reviewers wouldn't give it the time it deserves because whatever, they don't care about Xbox maybe, but because Recor, it's deceptive with its combat. It doesn't play like, you can't just hold the trigger down and kill everything, even though it looks like that on a stream. You have to burst fire, you have to use the charge shot to nuke off segments of the health, and then you can do like these executes with the, I can't remember what it's called now, but she shoots out like a rope thing, and she can pull out the cores, and you can only do that at certain points. So the combat is reactive. The way I described it in one of my articles was, it feels like almost like the Batman Arkham games as a shooter, where you're where the combat's reactive and it has a flow. It's not just shooting. And and I'm kind of worried that reviewers will play it like it's a shooter, like they did with Quantum Break, not using the powers,
Right, that's what I said a couple of episodes back.
They'll blame the game for their own inadequacies, which is what I genuinely think a lot of reviewers blamed Quantum Break for them sucking.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do the same for Recor, then it's going to be a real shame. But well, I'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully, like, the game will have a broad enough appeal, to go beyond that audiences, because Quantum Break, is aimed at more mature audiences, but Recall has bright colors, and it's a lower price point, so hopefully that will attract people, even if reviewers don't know how to play it.
True.
Interesting. Anybody else have anything to say on Recor?
No, go buy it if you want, and don't buy it if you don't want. Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of people say, oh, don't hype it up like that. But the point of the matter is this. It's not about hyping it up to go purchase. You should never go take $40 out of your pocket and spend it if you don't want it. But if you are someone that's a gamer, you want to try something new, this looks like it's got a lot of good people working behind it, and it definitely had investment behind it. So if you're just coming into it blind, that's a hell of a place to invest your $40.
I definitely agree. I still think it's going to do good.
I do too. I think it's going to do very well. I really do.
Cool. Let's go ahead and take some questions and then go ahead and get out of here. What we got, xshewulf?
Honestly, I didn't really see anyone actually ask questions. Though I love the she, what was it, the she-mac there, Jez?
The she-mac. Nice. Hey guys, get us your questions. We'll answer a couple before we get out of here. If there's no questions, we're going to go ahead and end the show.
I've got a question.
Sure.
So, who do I send my address to get those gear packs? Yeah.
I'll actually DM you, so we'll see.
Oh, thank you. I was joking, but
I'll DM you. We'll talk.
We'll talk.
Oh, okay, here we go. Finally,
Holy
it's
cow,
kind of got a little
in.
Quiet here. One question is, games such as BioShock, Gears, Call of Duty 4, etc. defined last generation. What games so far has defined this generation for you?
The Witcher 3.
Yes.
Witcher 3 is really good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Witcher 3 by far, leaps and bounds, like one of the best games out for the generation.
I really think Battlefield 1 has a potential to define this generation as well, honestly. But it's an interesting question because last gen, I mean, how many years are we into this gen now? 3 years?
Yeah.
So, I mean, by the three-year point last gen, we did have quite a few heavy hitters, didn't we? Like BioShock and stuff like that. I mean, when you talk about last gen, and last gen did last a long time, but there just feels like a huge density of really amazing games from last gen, like Fallout 3, Mass Effect 2, you know, Dragon Age Origins. But like this gen, it's kind of like the leap between the generations hasn't been so big that there hasn't been anything really truly amazing other than The Witcher 3, really.
Really, if you think about it, it's kind of been betas, delays, and indies.
Yeah, it's pretty much Witcher 3, like I said, stands above everything else. And to say chicken's yelling "we happy few" in the chat, but I think in a bad way that these survival games have also defined the generation, because I hate them, and they're all over the place.
I'm trying to look at my my games list now, just to see if there's anything that I enjoyed as much as The Witcher 3, and there just isn't anything there. I really, really love Overwatch, but it's not like a mind-blowing. It's like I love TF2 as well, you know. It's just the same kind of love. I don't know. Do you guys have anything beyond Witcher 2?
I like Quantum Break a lot, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I thought
that
it was different and unique for what it was. It was a different experience than what I was used to. So I would say Quantum Break for me.
There's a lot of games that I like, but I think that the generation is more to the point where it took a long time to get started. Like, I mean, there's a lot of good games out now, but really we're just now starting to get to where, like, there's games,
really good stuff,
like all the time. You know what I mean? And I'm really excited about it. And it's funny, like, just when you're starting to get really excited, they hit you with new hardware. You know what I mean? Like, that's
it's kind of hard to
games work on the new hardware, at least.
It's kind of hard to pick a game right now to define this generation, because I mean, like, Mafia 3's coming. I think that's going to be great. Battlefield 1, like, man, it's really hard to pick anything at this point.
Maybe Recor will.
I think one that we all will agree and then immediately want to throw tomatoes at me. But I think one that you have to put in there is you have to put Destiny in there.
Sure, Destiny's had
some great. Sorry, I agree with that. Like Destiny or even Dying Light, because those are games that have kind of had their own unique build and style to them, where no matter what, you end up always going back to play them.
There's been a lot of surprises this generation. Like, Dying Light was a massive surprise. Doom was a massive surprise. I didn't expect Doom to be as good as it was. Wolfenstein: The New Order, I didn't expect that to be as good as it was. And then you have games like Battlefront, which was a bit of a disappointment. Metal Solid 5,
gameplay-wise,
huge disappointment.
Gameplay-wise, Battlefront was good. They just really kind of casualed it up. No voice chat in game and no class-based. None of, you know what I mean? A lot of the stuff that made their first two Battlefronts so good, they just took that away. You know, but I thought that the actual gameplay was tight. You know, and fun, but they just, you know, they didn't have private lobbies at launch, no offline mode, no story.
Yeah.
You know.
Even some indies too.
App just appeared on Xbox. This is interesting.
Even some like indies too, like Hyper Light Drifter, Inside. There's been some Ori, like fantastic. Like, there's a lot of games, man.
I mean, I think. Well, here's the thing, though. You know, when I don't remember if it was Tommy or it was xshewulf that said it a second ago. Somebody said, "Well, this generation is defined by delays and this and that." I got news for you. A better graphics card isn't going to change what's going on right now. So what I'm saying is these delays and all the stuff that you see happening with newer games, that's not going to change with better hardware. So that's just the era that we're in. Like, you're going to buy a game, it's going to have a day 1 patch, and then it's going to have a day 7 patch, and then if you don't play the game for a month, when you put it back in, it's going to have it is, and it'll have a Delta patch. You know, while you were gone. Meaning, like,
I got a bit of news.
Oh, go ahead, Jess.
A piracy app just hit Xbox One.
What?
A piracy app?
An
Like
app. An app. No. An app that all it has is a bunch of pirated Tom and Jerry cartoons just hit Xbox One.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Interesting.
Okay.
So
I actually like Tom and Jerry.
yeah, Tom and Jerry's badass, but this is literally just piracy. And it's now on Xbox One.
That's hilarious.
That probably means that
goes back to your point.
Not far behind.
Wow.
This is awesome. I'm just going to spend the night watching Tom and Jerry now.
For real.
What do you mean now, when you say it's pirated, does that mean it's an app that's Microsoft's not condoning?
No, it's an app that whoever owns Tom and Jerry isn't condoning.
You can file share. Is that what you're saying?
No, you're streaming Tom and Jerry from some company servers with their ads all over the page.
Oh,
And they don't own Tom and Jerry. Warner Brothers probably owns Tom and Jerry or someone, but yeah, Tom and Jerry. I'm watching Tom and Jerry right now. Pretty sweet. Man. On my
that's
Xbox.
interesting.
What about Fox
tons
and
of ads
Tommy?
everywhere.
You know, what do you guys think about the generation and game that defined it?
The games that I think of, I guess remasters. Everything remastered. So you name it, that's what I think of first.
Even Batman, they're like, hey, let's release that right in the middle of everything else.
Yeah, like where you should have came out in the summer. But yeah, for me though, I would say Halo 5 and Destiny. So yeah.
What about you, Tommy?
Good choice.
For me, it's Witcher 3 and Quantum Break, and for the bad side of defining generation was Chicken's gonna be mad at me, but those survival games because they keep coming out. I don't know why. That genre is ridiculous.
You gotta eat. Now you gotta drink.
Yeah, I
now
hate that.
Now you gotta sleep.
And then you gotta do it again.
I got another question here. The chat, you guys in the chat are amazing tonight. You guys are just like non-stop talking in there. It's great.
Good stuff.
Okay, so another question is from Flower Girl. Do you think this generation is defined more by the community features and upgrades?
I think it's more defined by the complaining.
Yeah.
It's defined by the saltiness.
Yes, and that's the word that's been defined by this generation as well. Like you didn't hear anybody call anybody else salty. That's like this. That's now.
Well, you know what's funny? I do want to say
Psycho
something. Flower Girl
being
just
a
said,
fan.
how come nobody said Titanfall when defining? And I'll tell you this much. Titanfall actually was on the tip of my tongue, but the reason I didn't
Because you're
was
salty.
I truly believe that Titanfall 2 is going to be so bad that it's going to ruin what was,
Titanfall,
so good, and that's why I don't think Titanfall is going to be. I think it's going to hurt its legacy. I think Titanfall 2 will hurt whatever it was that it just built since 2014.
Yeah,
But that's
Titanfall
a
is
good
going to be
Too.
Titanfall is going to be known for if Titanfall 2 comes out really bad, it's going to be known for how bad Titanfall 2 was, not how good
Yeah.
Titanfall 1 was. For sure.
Exactly. That's why I said I don't think it'll be defined as this generation. But you know what? To be honest, if they just stuck to what, like we've all said and Jez said it tonight, if they just put a campaign in there and added some new maps, it could have been, they could have went down as the way Back to the Future 2 trumped Back to the Future 1. You know what I mean? Like it could have been like that, but instead it jumped right to Back to the Future 3.
Which is kind of why I didn't say Titanfall. Like, as much as I love that game, it still wasn't a complete game. Like, the first one, of course, was not a complete game when it launched. So for it to actually define this generation, it still comes down to it is still another shooter. So, like, yes, it was unique away from the other shooters. Like, I will give it that. But it was still a shooter. It didn't define itself to where it would make this generation, like, say, for instance, Ori or, The Witcher 3, which is still going with DLC and everything else that it has going on, or even Destiny that has been going on for this many years with, like, the upgrades and everything else like that. So.
Rise of Iron is going to be massive. That is a
Yeah.
huge expansion.
That's because, that's because they're dropping the 360 and the PS3. So it's only for this gen. So that's basically why I said Destiny. I would have said Titanfall, but I played the same game on the 360.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, the reason I say, like, Destiny is part of it is because, let's be honest, from the 2 years that it's come out, it constantly still keeps bringing content, even though it may, like, some of it may not have been the best, and, a lot of people were like, well, it's the same thing. It still is bringing content. It still brings new things, and it's still continuing to bring more things. So it is really, a defined game of this generation for what it is bringing, even if they're ripping people off with money.
And if you get back to what the question was, and I'm the one that derailed it, was which functions and what services. Delilah makes a good point and says play anywhere. That's that's something that's yet to be seen, but that is something that potentially can be a game changer. Again, that'll be time that decides that, and the user base that decides that.
Well, that and who supports it from developer side,
Only
Right.
first party are really going to support that.
Yeah, I was going to
and
say
then-
that'll be a first party thing.
Yeah. I mean, Sony, look, like, as much as we don't want to give Sony credit, they've been doing like the cross-buy, play anywhere stuff for a while. It's really gone kind of unnoticed.
Here's
So.
the thing, though, crap. I'm sorry. I always have to interject when you say that. They've been doing it, but they've been doing it on a 3-inch screen on a Vita. I'm sorry. The fact that I can open up any laptop now and go into any room or be somewhere in a hotel and have a 17-inch laptop, you can have a 27. You could be in your office.
Neither one of
outside.
those things appeals to me at all, though. I mean,
but but this isn't about me and you. This is about appealing to a major audience. And no matter what you say, me and GKB may disagree on. I play on a 70-inch TV. He plays on a 30-inch monitor. But the one thing we both agree on is we don't like playing on a 3-inch Vita. So,
and that also kind of, let's be honest, parents who travel with their kids, they may not necessarily, well, any of us, of course, would want a game if we're on vacation or whatever, but, parents who don't, they just have to throw their laptops into a bag, and if it's a rainy day or something, they can just give it to their kids to, like, be able to play their Xbox games and all that kind of stuff. Like,
but there's phones now. I mean, don't they just do that with phones?
No, crap. I'm sorry, but
No,
Flappy
it's
Bird's not Halo. Flappy Bird's not Halo 5.
I understand that, but especially with kids, like, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be playing like that kind of stuff. I
guess you'd have to have kids to actually fully understand.
I got a 7-year-old tonight that played half the night. He played when we give him like his hour. He played half his night. He played Minecraft. The other half he played with bots, not with online, but he played Call of Duty.
Well, what I'm saying is that I don't particularly look at that as a big deal, as a big feature. Just in my opinion, I think it's like they're pushing it like it is. Like I remember them, like they have all this research that they all play. Most Xbox gamers play PC as well and phones. And I remember telling Albert Penelo on Twitter, I'm like, that's not true. I don't ever game on my phone or PC. And he's like, you don't?
Well, here's a perfect example for you then, crap. Like, say if by some chance you got stuck and say you had to go to your brother's wedding and you really didn't want to actually go, but, there was, say, like, this awesome game night that was going to end up going on and, everyone was going to get together. But you couldn't go because guess what? You're stuck at your brother's wedding. Well, guess what? You could bring your laptop and then you could actually still join in with everybody.
Well, I have a 3DS and a Vita, so...
Yes, because that is the same as playing on Xbox.
That's like saying I don't want to play a game night. I have a yo-yo and fucking hopscotch.
Well, no, I'm just saying for me, like I'm not gonna pack. Like if I'm gonna pack up, a laptop, and you know what I mean, then
but
I might as well
chances are most people are bringing their laptops anyways because they stay with the social media and everything else that's going on.
Well, my phone does that though.
Well, then you are just completely out of whack and should not be in like this whole.
That's what I'm saying. Like
this is the thing, though. This is the thing with Windows 10. Windows 10 is it. There's not going to be a Windows 11. So as technology improves, maybe you will be able to just plug your phone into the top of an Xbox controller and play your Xbox Play Anywhere games from anywhere. Like, not in the short term, but they're putting this infrastructure in for the long term because Microsoft has the long term.
Right, that's the direction they're going in. That's right, Chaz. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, crap. This isn't an intervention to talk you into playing on a smaller screen. The point of the matter is that this is just a feature. That's something that even if only 25. Listen, I got to be honest with you. In a software company as big as Microsoft's, if they see 25% of the user base using this, that's a success. That's a huge feature to get 25% of the user base,
and not just the 1% of Crap Gamer.
Well, listen, I got news for you. I travel a lot.
Nobody's gonna be sitting there going, "Oh, let me play." I'm just saying this thing is not gonna be like a huge. Just in my opinion, I don't think it's gonna be a big.
In the short. I agree. Not in the short term.
Yeah, not next week, but I travel for work, and I got news for you. I always have a laptop with me, but there's times that I'm like, should I bring my Xbox One with me? And I'm like, I don't want to lug that whole thing through the luggage and then the security at the airport. But I got to bring the laptop for work anyways. All of a sudden, I just get there. All of a sudden, I open it up and I use my Bluetooth new controller, and I'm able to jam out. I mean, there's a lot of people in that scenario alone. Then there's the whole kids and the vacation. I mean, even if you're on vacation with, like, I have 2 kids, xshewulf and GKB, they have kids. Like, if I go on vacation, there's certain nights where you're out and you're out late with the family. There's certain nights where we're like, all right, we did a lot during the day. Tonight's the night we're all going to crash and just relax at the hotel. And when you do that, like, it'd be nice to be able to pop open and just jam out. Even if it's just you and your son playing, it's fun. There's a lot of scenarios. There's work, there's family, there's other things I'm not even mentioning because the situation doesn't exist yet. Once it exists and you put that into the user's hands, that's when you'll see things be created. And in this case, it'll be situations that'll be created that we can't fathom right now because it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Cool. I guess we'll go ahead and end it now. Shewulf. No more questions, right?
Nah.
Okay.
There was a couple of odd ones, but.
And Brandon Adams, I think Gears is going to sell millions and millions and millions, for sure. I just wanted to answer that for him. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cut the show, guys. I'm going to let all these awesome people here on the panel go ahead and shout out what they got going on this week. I'm going to go ahead and start with Jez, our special guest this week.
Hello, I'm Jez. I play video games. Follow me at Twitter at JezCorden. And I'm working on lots and lots of content about Xbox clubs and Xbox looking for group. That's about it at the minute.
Go read his articles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the long ones.
We're redesigning the WindowsCentral.com homepage so that Xbox is going to have a dedicated section. So if you're not interested in our phone or our laptop stuff, you'll be able to find all of my Xbox stuff in a nice rectangle on the page. So hopefully people will actually read my articles.
Oh yeah.
Rock and roll.
I'll just stuff them down people's throats. I'll like tweet it out like every hour. I'm
Oh
sure
my
some
gosh.
people.
What about you, Tommy?
I just wanted to say thanks for having me on again, and you can follow me, if anyone listening, follow me on Twitter at SirTommyGuns, and visit my blog at gamingwithtommy.com, and leave me some feedback and comments, and let me know what you think. And thanks for having me again.
Sure. Absolutely.
Awesome articles as well.
Thank
I
you.
mean, those blogs are amazing.
Those blogs are amazing.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
You got a
appreciate that.
talent,
Means a
brother.
lot. Thank you.
What about you, Mooch? What you got going on?
No, we got Crossfire Friday, 6 p.m. That's going to be exciting. We'll have a few folks on, a few of the usual suspects as well. Me and Crap are also starting up our Mooch and Crap in the mornings Sunday, so stay tuned for more details on that. And, I'll be honest with you, it's great to be on Console Corner. I don't get on very often because I'll sound like everybody else. Monday and Tuesday are usually the days I'm not podcasting, so it's nice to not podcast, but it is always an honor to be here, and it's always good to hang out with the great Sir Jez Gordon. Yes, I knighted you in the YouTube community, Jez. So congratulations.
Thanks.
Absolutely, buddy.
Actually, like I really do like coming on Crossfire, but we've started doing our own beam.pro thing on beam.pro/Windows Central at the same time.
It's the same time as Crossfire. That's okay. I'm working diligently
That's the
to try and corrupt your system, so you'll have to come on my show.
That's the one where you were playing the Minecraft guys, right?
Yeah, me and the Windows, the editor in chief, and the our Windows editor. We go on Minecraft and we play.
It's so funny. You guys have to watch it.
Yeah. We just talk about Microsoft, but the whole ecosystem, not just Xbox. We talked about we were just talking, and then the founder of Beam came into the chat and was like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And we were like, "Yeah, come on Skype." And the founder of Beam just had an impromptu interview with us. It was really cool.
That's
guy's
awesome.
18 years old.
That's crazy.
18 years old.
I love Beam. Beam's fantastic.
Yeah, Beam was awesome. We were the #1 watch stream on Beam for a little time.
Yeah, I saw that. You guys are like right up there.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, Mooch, you're gonna have to move your podcast time. That's right.
Oh, okay.
I will move it for you, brother. I will. 'Cause we got to get Jez back on there. And also, I want to say it is cool to hang out with Tommy and the entire Console Corner podcast is awesome. And of course, the infamous Crap Gamer. It's always good to
That's
hang out
right. That's right. Even though you guys don't agree with my take that Play Anywhere is
He's gonna be so
Play
salty
Anywhere is a
now.
complete waste of time and garbage, and is never going to do anything. And all those games are going to go to Steam. Anyway. Yeah. So Xbox Nation tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to cover all the interesting Sony news from their
Yeah.
event and stuff like that.
yeah.
Fresh off the presses.
Hardware.
Yeah, because it'll be at 3 o'clock. That's their event is at 3 Eastern, so it should be definitely over and have time to digest and give our takes on that. So I appreciate you guys bringing me on, and it's always fun hanging out and talking games
Yeah. Talking.
Yes,
and
sir.
drinking names.
What about you, Fox?
Even though my hip hurts. Oh,
Your mic's still on.
I know.
Mike's still on.
What you got going on, Fox?
Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat. You guys are awesome. I ate my other Kit Kat. I'm feeling better.
Sweet. That's always good.
It's always awesome being on here, obviously talking with GKB and She-Wolf. We missed you, Brutal. And also, it's awesome being with Crap and Mooch in a podcast, as always. Tommy, you're cool too.
Mooch Crap.
Jez, I'm still waiting for my poster. But anyway, you guys can follow me on... Oh, yeah. You guys can follow me on Twitter, on YouTube. I did some videos. I'm going to do another one about Battlefield. So if you want to see me going fangirl mode about Battlefield, I'm going to do that video for you guys either tonight or tomorrow. And, yeah, follow me on Twitter.
Mooch Crap.
Awesome.
Mooch Crap.
In the mornings. Oh, I'm going to make you guys a theme song.
That'd be great.
I will totally make you a theme song.
I wrote the words to one. I had a couple of drinks, so I don't remember them all. But something about he's thin and I'm fat, and we talk about this and that.
Oh yeah, you tweeted.
Mostly just Xbox facts or something. I rhymed fat with facts, so I thought that was
he did.
That was good. That's good.
So.
Yeah.
What about you, She-Wolf?
Genius.
Well, thank God that Crap doesn't drink religiously. He just,
No, like the funny thing was, I was like, me and Mooch were talking in DM, and he's like, I don't know if we should tweet that out yet. I was like, I'm doing it.
he's like
out there.
He's like, I may or may not have already tweeted it out. I was like, all right, never mind.
You sound what the hell's his name from Family Guy now? Peter. You sound like Peter from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I may have not done that.
I may or may have not have.
He's
So,
like,
yeah.
may or not. I'm like, up there it is. Great.
What about you, She-Wolf?
You can find me here, of course, on Gamers Knows Best. Hopefully, maybe I'll get really lucky and we'll get a review code for Recor so we can review that for you guys.
Give it a fair review.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh. And then, of course, a new article is up on icxm.net, so make sure you go check out the community article. Of course, you can find me on Xbox Nation tomorrow and Twitter.
Xbox Nation, woo!
You can find me on Twitter everywhere. I'm just kind of here and there promoting all these crazy people on here. And, of course, Jess, thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy to have you on here. And that one's not specific, so.
I'm always happy to, jump on when I can. I'm super busy a lot of the time, but
Yeah, it's like 2 a.m. after 2 a.m. where you're at, right?
it's 2:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, man.
You're not much on sleep, are you?
I sleep during the day. I really hate it. I had to
He
go
has
outside.
American hours.
Yeah, pretty much. I had to go outside to the dentist today, and it was the first time I'd seen sunlight in like weeks.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Burning my eyes.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, I should have
Wait,
got myself.
what? UK has sunlight? That was a joke.
Oh.
Bad joke. It's always raining over there. I'm just saying.
It was refracted through the clouds. It was still
Okay,
too
cool.
bright for me.
Nice.
Also, I want to point out, if you guys missed Ladies' Night Console Corner Takeover yesterday, you guys could check it out after
Good
this.
show. Good topics, too.
Yeah,
that was good.
all the
For
ladies.
sure. All right, guys. GKB Gamers Knows Best. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter under Gamers Knows Best. We'll be on Xbox Nation tomorrow.
Xbox Nation!
Xbox Nation. Woo! And
It
then we'll
should be
be
called
on.
PlayStation Nation just for tomorrow.
It should be, because that's what we're gonna be talking about for sure.
Yeah, it will be a lot of PlayStation stuff.
And
Hey,
I'll be
that's the
on.
them's the breaks.
Do it.
I'll be on Shop Podcast on Saturday. Big shout out to Blam. Love you, bro.
Blam.
Blam!
And then back on Console Corner on Tuesday. It's awesome.
Oh, and community game time. Every Xbox Live member is allowed
Join the club.
to join. Oh, and join the club, of course. It is Saturday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Everyone is welcome, and it is always a lot of fun.
Yeah, big shout out to everybody out there. We had like over 170 people watching. That's fantastic. You guys
hold
are
on.
awesome.
There's this joke from NFL Retweet. It says, the Browns are more reliable than the PlayStation servers.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's cold-blooded, right, guys?
Dang.
Come on.
That's below the belt right there, man. Woo.
That's a good way to end the podcast.
Yeah. We'll see you guys. Take care of your fellow gamers. We're out of
Good
here.
night.